the Inno Talk podcast. We'll no topic is off limits. Now here's your host, my daddy, and Void of Soul. Thank you for coming to the Inno podcast. Boom, swat, boom.
In 3, 2, 1. Welcome, guys. Welcome back, Matt. Welcome for the first time, Casey. Couple of rugby. Are you guys rugby stars or rugby players? What should I call you?
Shoot, we wear quite a few hats now. Rugby players, rugby coaches.
Okay. Well, Matt.
Rugby enthusiasts.
Matt came in. Some of you guys might remember. 4 years ago, you said?
4 years ago, 2019.
Damn.
It was in the fall.
I guess that. Yeah. Wow. Whose phone? Is that your phone?
Who knows?
Okay.
All good.
All right. 2019, pre-COVID, you were a professional.
Correct, yeah.
Then I think you were like my first professional athlete I had, I think, on the podcast. And
yeah.
I bring you up quite often.
Really?
Because you probably get sick of hearing it, but you just how big you are. Like you're just a giant fucking dude. What are you again? Like 6'7", 2
right now
80 or something?
Hey, shoot, I'm a little heavy right now. I got that winter weight on, not gonna lie. I'm pushing 3 bills right now. So yeah, 6'7", 3 bills.
Just a giant dude.
I can move it around though. It works, you know. Casey saw me in action last week at Touch Rugby on Wednesday. I was hitting some holes. We're good.
Touch Rugby? You can't hit a hole. You're too big.
He outran me.
You just create a hole.
I gassed Casey.
He outran me.
But to be fair, Casey did have his hip put back in last year around this time, really, actually.
Yeah.
When was the anniversary of that?
April 16th. Yeah. Dislocated my hip fully in a game, just popped completely out. So had to have like emergency surgery. It was a sketch deal.
So
very sketch.
A dislocated hip isn't anything like a dislocated pinky.
Not really. Not really.
No.
Not really.
Because that's what I have. People laugh at it, but my pinky is fucked up still from dislocating it about 7 years ago or something like that. It's still fucked up.
Pinky's getting in the way, man. I can't straighten it more than that.
Yeah, I have to really look at that. See, it gets hooked there. Yeah. And then it pops.
That's gross. That's disgusting.
Yeah, that's just from playing basketball and it jamming and dislocating. Just popped it back in. So what do you do with a hip? Do you pop that thing back in?
So thankfully they were able to. With the way it came out, it kind of chipped the bone on the way out, and was just sitting in my ass cheek. They had to rush me to the hospital. I guess if I would have gotten there a few hours later, it could have became life-threatening just because of the way all the tendons and every blood vessel and everything got ripped out. It's sorry to be graphic, but
bring it on.
They basically they basically had to cut my butt cheek open.
It looks like a shark bite.
Yeah, they had they drilled in a screw and had a lever, and basically it was 3 doctors trying to yank it back in, and finally just got it popped back in.
Right. Are you
sewed me up?
Oh my god. Are you passed out though, or do they have you?
Yeah,
under?
I was knocked. Yeah, I was knocked out. And I wanted it too. It was a horrible experience.
Yeah.
I didn't get in an ambulance or anything because I didn't know how serious it was. I just wanted to kick my leg super hard because I felt like if I could just jam it, it'd just pop in itself. But it was just the threshold of pain was too high. So they threw me in the back of a Fiat, a tiny little Fiat. My legs, I can't move my leg. And I slam in the door, and my foot's getting hit by the door. And I'm like, I don't fit in here. I don't fit in here. Finally get me in. They drive me to the hospital. And, we go to the emergency room area, and a couple of the, male, ER nurse attendants or whoever, come out, and they're like, what are we going to do? How are we going to get you out? I don't know, dude. How am I supposed to know? It's eventually kind of
pros.
Yeah, push. I'm doing this all my push my way out and still in my full rugby gear, and I get out on 1 foot, and one of the guys is right there, and I just collapsed on him, just this random dude, because I couldn't stand up, and he's just let's get him on the bed, and put me in there, and yeah, literally within an hour-ish or so, they were like, we got to take you up now. And that's all I was waiting for. I was just just knock me out. Let's go. I'm
you were
good.
just in excruciating pain the whole time?
Yeah, it was horrible,
Oh,
man.
my
It was
gosh.
horrible. And they didn't know what to do yet. They had to take the x-rays, and evaluate it and stuff. And by the time, once the x-rays got to the orthopedic people, the guy looked at it and was like, get him up here now. Like, we got to go. Because it was that serious of a situation. So, yeah. And that was literally just from I was, like, running through a gap. A guy, like, kind of, like, grabbed my leg. And then I got hit from another guy, like, up here. So I didn't have any, like, way to kind of move or adjust my body. And the dude just fell, like, big old bloke.
Bigger than
fell
me.
right on me. Boom. And just, yeah, I popped it out. It was gnarly, dude.
Whoa, my God.
Yeah. So it was a long rehab
I
process.
don't think I can continue this podcast.
Sorry, dude. I was laid up in the bed, man, for a couple months. Couldn't do
Holy
shit,
shit,
dude.
a couple months?
Couple months, dude, yeah. Finally, like, was able to get up, like, move around on crutches. And, like, I mean, dude, it was an experience. Yeah, it was tough. It was a tough
Dude.
deal. Yeah.
That was a year ago?
That was a little over a year ago, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
And you're back out there playing now?
Not playing. I'm coaching. I'm running around
plays
playing.
some touch.
Yeah, some
Okay.
two-hand touch. You know what I mean? I'm not doing the full contact stuff. They've basically said, like, the risk of it happening again is so high, you know? You'd be a
Okay.
fool if you tried to go out and play it again. Now, you know, if I was Mahomes or something getting, you know, millions of dollars, I'd probably say, hey, you know, I'm going to try and keep playing or whatever. But, you know, I'm still trying to run a little family business and, you know, keep my life in order. So I enjoy coaching now, and I'll get out and play, like, the two-hand touch stuff and things like that. So maybe if we go on, like, another tour, we've been on a couple tours together overseas, and if we go on another tour, that's where, like, I think, like, I'll step back on the field, play a little bit, just to be able to say I played in that country.
We got to make
You know
it
what I
happen.
mean? Yeah. So I got a bunch of countries on my
Dude,
list.
don't
to
do
cross
it.
off,
Don't
dude.
do
I'm
it.
gonna do it, dude.
Don't be like
He's gonna be the guy out there in the red shorts in the older players' games. Like there's some 55 and over tournaments.
Okay.
Crazy enough, they put guys in red shorts. You're not allalled to hit them. It's like the red jersey on the QB.
Can you do that? Come on, man. I know your ego doesn't want to, but just listen. It could easily happen again, like you said. And you don't want that to happen in another country.
Exactly. That's the thing. That's why I would be end of a game guy, like on the wing when you play on the wing.
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
You're not in like the thick of it. Like the normal positions that I usually play, like you're around the ball constantly the entire game. So it's just like constant chaos. You know, and bodies flying around everywhere.
I mean, coaching's cool. Just go
Coach is
over there
awesome.
and coach and
Yeah,
just
it's
say I coached a game.
True.
True.
It's a goal. It's a goal.
I get it. I'm not. I'm just saying. Oh my! I'd be so. I mean, imagine getting stuck in another country's hospital.
Yeah, it'd have to
With
be.
there. Like,
it would
what
have
country would it
yeah,
be?
It would have to be like a first world country. Maybe.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know if
That's
I'd
the only
go-
place you'll
I don't-
play?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd go to, you know, like the Bali 10s or something. And when they step on, I'd be like, nah, I don't think I want to be in the hospital in Bali or something.
I had a good experience when I split my chin open in Spain. You have to pay for like a license there.
What do you mean a license for?
So
what?
like they call it a ficha, which is like translates to license, but it's essentially like your dues to the league and the team and everything like that. But with that, you also get access to a private hospital. So when I split my chin open, they're like, "Oh, hey, we'll get you there." I went there, got my chin sewed up, made it to the social. Like I was literally in and out 45 minutes or less. Like I was like, "America, catch up!" Like
Nice.
this is silly. I literally walked in there like, "Oh, hey, what's wrong?" "Yep, all right, sweet, 7 stitches. All right, get out of here."
They would have done that here.
I mean, yeah,
Don't
but
you think?
also the hierarchy of or triage, you know, of like there's definitely bigger issues
imagine,
than a
yeah.
split open chin at an ER here.
Yeah, I'm just saying you could probably even go to urgent care for probably like that, maybe.
There's been several times my old neighbor stitched me up on his kitchen floor and my parents' kitchen. He's done my finger, my eyebrow, my chin, my cheek.
All from rugby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a man's game.
I mean,
It's a
inevitable.
man's game.
honestly, I'd rather that than anything more than my hip or something. Like, yeah, I'll take a cut on
Right.
the face.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, the hip thing. I don't. Oh, that's crazy. So did that take you out? I mean, clearly it took you out. But like, did you still have, like, what? Like, how serious were you playing when that happened? And like, did you still have
That's the worst part.
game left after? Like, uh oh.
No, that's what sucks. So
Oh, no.
I just come back. I took the team that we played for, or I played for, he plays with now, I coach with and everything. Like, I help assist and coach with them as well. The Kansas City Blues took a team over to Wales and Ireland. Big tour. I've been planning out for 2 years. It got canceled by, COVID, literally the day before we were going to leave. They shut down everything. So our tour got pushed back 2 years.
Can you explain what a tour is exactly?
Okay. Yeah, sure. So in rugby, it's a traditional type thing where, from way back from the sports beginnings, you take a team, you travel to a foreign country, you plan out ahead, like 3 matches, 4 matches, depending on the amount of time you get there.
Too, but yeah.
I guess it can be domestic for sure.
Yeah.
Usually
the cool ones are international.
Totally. And so, and it's a whole camaraderie thing. You really like, it's about, being able to literally, learn about another country, learn about the people, because rugby attracts such a similar, like, weird eclectic group of people anywhere you go. So you get these teams together and you're like, okay, this guy is South African, but he's a tile setter just like me. There's this other biologist that's just like Kevin, or a recruiter that's just like Matt, and guys who are just
lawyers,
handling this life, who are just like kind of got a couple of screws loose, that they're out there playing rugby, actually paying to play rugby. They're spending their own money to do this, and so you travel around and you play these games, and they host you afterwards. And so, like, the hosting part of it is, they feed you, they get you a bunch of booze,
exchange jerseys,
a big ceremony. It's kind of like a big deal in some countries. Like, they got really cool club grounds, like clubhouses, and you'll walk in and you'll see like jerseys from all over the world, and from the 1800s teams that came and played at the same facility, and all this stuff. So so it's a thing in the rugby world, and a lot of people, it's not so common, I don't think. Like,
it's like more for like the dedicated folks, I would say, for sure. It's like the diehard type thing.
Okay, I get it.
Like,
it's a niche little thing.
Essentially, you get on a bus at the airport. That is your team's transportation for the whole thing. You'll have tourists who aren't even playing, who are just there supporting and want to be a part of it. You have players. Obviously, you have a coach. When we went on one to South Africa, we had a freaking like 8-year-old kid on it.
Some people bring their families. It just depends on the vibe.
And it was so funny, like, because it was just like, we're like drinking at the back, and this little kid's like, you guys want to play catch? We're like, please go to the front. Like, what's going on? But like, and then we went to rugby games. We went on safaris. Like, there's cultural aspects of it too, So it's like,
wow.
I mean, it's so cool. And it's like, you wake up, it's like you're literally like just recovery every morning and just carry on. Like,
how do you know that you're getting evenly matched up with a team? Like, how does that kind of stuff work out? And like, when you go, are you trying to kick their ass and win? Like,
I mean,
fuck these people.
You're always trying to win. I mean, shoot, when we went on the one in South Africa, I think we had
got your headphones on the wrong ears.
Oh, do I?
It'll be more comfortable for you.
So the one we went to South Africa, I think we had 6 games. But the funniest thing, our first game is when we freaking landed. We went straight to the field and played from the airport.
After you landed in Africa?
Yeah. After a 12-hour flight from France to Africa. We freaking get on a bus, go to the game, and play straight away.
Probably got your asses kicked.
We did. We got smoked.
Warm bath? Was that?
No, warm bath was a few in. That was cool. But, yeah, we had like 4 or 5 games. I think we won 2 or 3 of them. But, like, I mean, like, there was the last game we played was against, like, a team of, like, all ex-professionals. It was, like, all these older guys that, like, had played Super Rugby and were, like, unbelievable.
Wow.
That was probably my best game of the tour. But the other thing that was funny was it's the first time I had ever, like, we went on, like, a tour that day, like a zip line thing, and they had drinks there while we were waiting. So we, like, had beers during the day, and then we played a rugby game that night, which is incredibly ill-advised, and I don't recommend that, especially to any of the players that we coach right now that end up listening to this. But
they won't.
We literally had like, it was just crazy, like seeing like ex-pros out there, and like they smoked us, and it's like I got a yellow card in this game, and maybe there's one other time I've had fans yell louder at me than that, but like they're just, I mean, the feeling, you're like, are we gonna get in a fight with these people when we go to the locker room? Like, are they gonna jump us? Like, what's going on? Like,
and these guys, they've grown up in this. It's like they've grown up in this neighborhood. This is their rugby club. They played from being a little kid. They play rugby barefoot when they start. They don't wear cleats until like high school or something, or like later on when you're like middle school or something. They play barefoot. They've been playing with each other all this time. It's like their home, club. It like means a lot. It's like rugby's got like some tribal, seriously like tribal ancient like mindsets into the way like people are protective about like where they're from, and like these people are coming to our grounds, you know what I mean? It means this game means a lot. We can't let these Americans beat us on our home field. Like we don't want to hang their little plaque up on our thing and have to walk by that every time knowing, you know, but we'll kick their butt and shake their hand after and take some, you know, drink some with them after, because it's all good. But either way, but yeah, it's like there's some tribal aspects to it for sure, like where you're really like going to battle, and it's a you know, this kind of like inherent ancient DNA thing. Like it's tight, man. It's got some cool roots.
All right, so I totally sidetracked us. So
all good.
But I'm bringing us back. I'm bringing us back.
Recenter.
So we went on the whole tour thing because when you got injured,
yeah,
you were setting up a tour.
We had just returned from that tour. It was like a couple years in the making, big deal. Played in one game in Wales, 2 games in Ireland, and you know, won 2, lost 1. So it was a very successful tour. First tour the Blues had done since like 1991 or something like that.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, my dad came and we played literally where my grandfather was from in Ireland. We played at that same county. So yeah, it was a big deal. Like finally pulled off this big thing, magnificent thing.
That'd be great. Thank you.
And I get back and I'm coaching the high school team with Matt, and we have this rivalry game going on this weekend. And I'm in really good shape. I'd been training for the tour, just came off, played really well. And so we're playing after this rivalry game.
I can hear you. I'm just going to grab a ice cube real quick. We keep going.
Yeah. And so we played after this rivalry game. The high school team did. We were having our own rivalry game after that. And there was a B-side match and an A-side match. And I hadn't been able to come out to practice at all to like play with the men's side because I, you know, had chosen to coach the high school boys for the spring. And so they needed guys for the B-side. And so I was like, yeah, I'll play. I can play in the B-side match, no problem. Then I'll coach the kids after. And we're like kicking this team's butt, man. I mean, literally, I think we're up like 60-something to nothing.
Jeez.
You know, I just been moving and grooving, was feeling really well. And I called for a sub. And was like, hey, let me get out of here. You know, I like knew I had to get the kids ready to go and set up and stuff. And they're like, we don't have anybody right now. We don't have anyone. So I'm like, all right, fine. I'll keep playing. The game's ticking on. We score again. And I'm like running back on the kickoff. And they find like there's a few minutes left in the game. And they're like, we got somebody. And at that point, my ego totally took over. And I'm like, I'll just finish it. I'll just finish the game. Screw it. And then
come this far.
A couple minutes later, I pick up the ball off of like a loose play and just get absolutely smashed by this guy.
Damn.
Yeah, and it was literally like his body just hit the ground and just popped like right back up. Like my hip popping out just like clocked him right back up to this feet. It was big old boy too. Big old sloppy guy. Yeah, so it was one of those situations where it's like, God dang, dude, this only happens in games like this, you know,
stuff
like
only happens in the
because in higher level rugby, people like just like I don't know, people know where to be more, and like they're not just like out there just trying to like run in reckless abandon. You know, a lot of those guys don't even know,
or just to straight up hurt people.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those guys don't even know the rules of the game, so they're just out there. You know what I mean? Just wanting to throw. They know a very like skeleton of what rugby is, and so they just want to throw their body into stuff, and especially after you beat a team that bad towards the end of the game, you know, they're not blowing the game up. Exactly. So they're like, fuck it, you know, I don't got anything to lose. Like, I'm just going to start, you know, doing cheap stuff. And so it was unfortunate event, but you know, hey, is what it is.
But you still had plenty of rugby left in you in your career or whatever after that?
Totally, dude. I felt like I literally thought, I didn't know when I would ever start. We got this guy on our team. We call him, his name's Jackman, and he's, I don't know, is he 50 yet maybe? He's in his 50s.
I think he's 50.
But he still plays with us, like still plays in rugby matches.
And he does well.
And he does decent. He does decent.
On the Blues?
Well, okay,
on the Blues.
As far as set piece is concerned, he is a pillar in the scrum. He's immovable object.
Well, I've been playing, you know, with
so anybody can play in the Blues? Like,
I mean, we have multiple teams, but I mean, if you're an asset to the team and we need you, you're involved. Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
I mean, he plays a skilled position, and we didn't have a lot of props at the time. And we were like, hey, we need you to just come and scrum. That's all you got to do. You know, just scrum and hit rucks.
Okay. And the Blues, like how, like it's professional, semi-professional, amateur? What would you really?
It's amateur.
Okay.
Sure. Yeah.
But is it like the highest level amateur gets? Is that
correct? Yeah. Exactly. Men's D1, it's the highest level amateur it gets in America. And then there is a pro league here. But yeah.
We have a pro league here.
Yeah.
Who's the pro team?
That's so not in Kansas City.
Oh, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
No, I know you played.
Yeah.
I remember you playing on a New York team.
Correct. Yeah. New York, and then after COVID, I went to Boston as well.
After COVID, you went to Boston during COVID. Did you guys play during COVID?
No. So I was in. So weird enough, right after was here with you last, I went back to New York. We started playing our season. I felt I was having one of the best seasons I had.
Nice.
Getting a lot of playing time, starts, and everything. It was going great.
Congratulations, you're welcome. That's the Neanderthal bump.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, it's all I needed. And then freaking they canceled our game that Friday, and I was like, oh, what the hell? And then late on Sunday it came out, we're suspending the season for 2 weeks. Like, we're gonna see what happens with this COVID
2 weeks
mess.
to stop the spread.
Yeah. And
remember that?
And they were like, listen, guys, like, honestly, like, you might as well just go home for now. If things ramp back up, we'll bring you back out, whatever. So I came back to Kansas City then, and then finally things chilled out enough that they're like, we're gonna have an MLR season in, what was it, 21, and my coach from New York talked to the GM in New England, and they gave me, literally off the couch, they gave me a text like, hey, what do you think about coming out here? I was like, yeah, let's do it. We agreed to some terms. I went out there, and I mean, it was crazy. Like, I showed up, they're like, if you don't have a KN95, we'll give you one when you arrive. Like, make sure you sit in the back seat. You'll be driven by the trainer. I mean, they were like dropping food off at like no contact. We had to quarantine for 10 days when we first got there. After the quarantine, one of my roommates got COVID, so we had to quarantine again. So when I first got to Boston, of the first 4 weeks I was there, we were quarantining for 3.5 of them.
Oh my God.
And the first day I got there, it snowed 36 inches.
Gross.
Welcome to Boston.
Gross.
I was like, Jesus, this is wild.
Wow.
But so, yeah, once we finally got through the quarantine mess, I mean, we're doing 2 COVID tests a week. It's the spit one, so you have to fill up the tube to the line, sign your name on it.
I haven't had to do it. I just had the one where they tickle your brain.
Yeah. Yeah, seriously. But yeah, we were doing those twice a week. And then eventually, once we all got the vaccine, that we were free.
Did they force you to get the vaccine?
We had to get the vaccine.
Damn.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I was like, whatever I have to do to have freedom, I don't give a shit. Like, I was cooped up. Like, we were only allowed to interact with our team or anyone who's a member of our staff. And like, people's like girlfriends and wives had to like agree to these terms too. Like, it was crazy. And so it was like, whatever we got to do, like, jab me up. I don't give a shit. Like,
damn,
give me freedom. Like, seriously.
Isn't that wild? I think about that. What a wild time in the world and in our country, where we did get to the point where in order to do something, you have to take this experimental vaccine.
Yeah.
Here you go. Just, you have to do it. I didn't do it. I did not feel comfortable with that fucking thing.
Honestly,
whatsoever.
I'm glad that nothing, at least thus far, has happened. But I was just like, let's get me back, as close back to real life. Because I mean, you also got to understand, I was here in Kansas City, where like COVID hardly existed. I mean, you could go to bars and pretty much not really need a mask. Like, regulations.
No, you needed a mask.
You needed it hanging from your ear at a lot of places. I mean, it was very, very low key.
It was.
And then I show up to Boston, and it's like people screaming in each other's faces if you don't have a mask on. Like, I like, everywhere's outside dining, like, so strict. Everything was like locked down. I was like, well, this is gonna take some getting used to. Like,
yeah.
I mean, it ended up being fine and everything, but
you know who's even had it more lax on those rules was Kansas.
Yeah.
I went to a hip hop show at the Roxy, R.I.P. the Roxy, and it was mid COVID, like heat COVID, and I took my Uber there, had my mask in, pop out, and I go in there and I don't see anybody wearing masks, but I'm like, and I asked the guy that was checking the tickets, like, do I need to wear a mask? He's like, nope, you don't need a mask. I'm like, is that just when I'm drinking? Or is like, you don't need a mask at all. I was like, I like it over here. All right. Shout out to Kansas.
That's great.
Yeah. Interesting times.
Wild times.
Well, thank God it's over. Whatever.
All right. I'm going to ask a question that you're probably not allowed to ask, so don't be offended or be offended, but you certainly don't have to answer it, of course. But how much does a player typically get paid in Major League Rugby, professional?
That is not offensive at all. You're all good. It's peanuts. I mean, the top paid player on the team, they're probably around like 45,000, and there's like 2 or 3 guys that are around that. Like, I mean, we're talking like. Granted, these are 6-month contracts, so it's not as bad, but I mean, they got a long way to go. I mean, you definitely make more money working. You make more money as a teacher, I would say, for sure.
That's close, yeah. Is it close to? Can you do 2 6-month contracts? So could you potentially make $90,000 a year?
I mean, the league only goes like it's really only a 6-month season, so I mean, yeah, not really.
Are there players out there that are doing that for the 6 months and then being a pro in like a different
other countries,
another country on the off season?
100%. Yeah, there's definitely guys doing that. And like there's like, for instance, like I saw just the other day, like one of my former teammates and buddies from the New England team, he just finished playing in Japan a full pro season there.
Oh, cool.
And then he's coming mid-season for MLR here. And so I mean,
Japan. Can you imagine this guy in Japan?
I've heard that literally, if you're like over 6 foot, you like have people asking for your autograph and like wanting to take photos with you and stuff. It's like that commercial with the guy wearing the Boston Red Sox hat, and they're like, "Oh, Big Poppy."
Casey, are you from here?
I am, yes, yeah. Grew up, born and raised.
How did you get involved with rugby? What got you started?
So my dad played. He played for the Blues.
That was like your story, right?
Yeah, so he played for the Blues in like the 80s when he got back from the Navy. And yeah, just kind of like grew up watching him, and then he coached the high school team that we coach right now. Yeah, so it's kind of a family
Is that
thing.
Kind of typical for, I mean, obviously rugby's not big in America. And then when you get to a city this size, which is kind of small, when you see other cities like ours, is that kind of the story you see with the rugby teams? It's just kind of a family thing? Like, how do...
For sure, though.
I watched
it. The majority is like legacy, for sure. So definitely.
That 100%.
There's a lot of new.
There's like a whole thing, at least with rugby in America. Literally, if you see a person who's around your age, who's physically fit, like, hey, man, you ever play rugby? You ought to check it out. Yeah. And sometimes they do, and they end up crushing it, or they're like, yeah, whatever, weirdo, like, piss off, whatever. But, like, honestly, it's like, it's just the whole thing. It's like, if you're into it, you're, like, obsessed. I mean, I'm freaking obsessed. I watched as many rugby games a week as I can. My girlfriend, God bless her, she probably is like, what the hell is wrong with this guy? He's going out there coaching high school rugby 2 days a week and games other days of the week we volunteer. I mean, we completely volunteer. So it's like we do it out of the love of the game. Like, and so, I mean, it's like, I think that just kind of trickles down, It's like kind of how Casey's saying, like, we go to another country and it's like, oh, you play rugby, I play rugby. We're homies. What's up? Like,
yeah.
And that's how rugby is. Like, everyone speaks of the brotherhood. Like, it totally is, though. Like, and there's some guys that literally rugby is their identity, and they're, come across as a bit of a goober, but like,
yeah, totally.
That's all right. Every niche sport,
exactly. 100%. 100%.
I've been that guy in all kinds of sports I've played. And I was a soccer guy. I played soccer through college, so I get it. I was the same.
For sure.
Yeah.
You have to be, especially in America, you literally have to be a little sick in the head to play top-level amateur rugby. I mean, where we are right now, we compete in the Midwest League. So we play team from Iowa, team from Minnesota, team from Wisconsin.
Milwaukee.
Another one from Milwaukee. So 2 from Wisconsin, and then St. Louis. And
right, that's the rival, right?
Yeah, the Bombers. And so you're traveling on these weekends. You're paying out of pocket to go travel to stay, in some, 2 to 3 star hotel, literally shacked up in a queen size bed
with a friend.
With
4 people to a room.
4 guys to a room. You're getting in late there after work. You're waking up in the morning, and trying.
Like, you guys all have regular jobs.
Yeah, exactly.
You're still doing this shit.
Yeah, trying to hold down, like relationships and your work life and other things that you might be interested in, stuff like that.
Well, first of all, relationships are overrated. Get rid of them real quick. If you want to be the best amateur rugby player you can be, and just hang
I'm
out
gonna
with
set my sights a little higher.
hang out. I'm sure there's got to be some rugby followers, some female rugby. What do they call those? Groupies.
Jersey chasers.
Rugger huggers.
Yeah.
That's
Rugger
what
huggers?
I've heard that one.
Rugger hugger is the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that scene like?
I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, right.
I'm a
He's got
committed
girl,
man.
That's right.
I'm a
yeah.
committed man. I
Yeah.
couldn't tell you.
Yeah, but have you always been committed?
Well,
I mean,
since I've been dating her, yes.
Well, that's what I'm
100%.
saying. But before
Yeah,
that,
I mean-
before her,
Yeah.
before she came and ruined everything.
She didn't.
I'm kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just a jaded single
I mean,
guy.
of course, yeah. I mean, there's definitely, yeah. Any sports, there's
Right.
there's supporters.
Yeah, well, that is cool though to just do that, travel and play these games. When is the season? When is the KC Blues? Matt, are you still playing on the Blues?
I am still playing, yeah.
Okay, when are games? I need to come out. And go
Okay,
to a
so
game.
they just had a small spring season that finished, I think, a week or so ago. So the next games, there will be some summer sevens. So that's 7-on-7.
Was that fun? Do I want to see that?
It's cool for sure. You
It's the
definitely want to check
Olympic
it out.
version. It's
Yeah.
the Olympic
Oh.
version of rugby.
But
Yeah.
the
I like
thing
that.
is, I mean,
I like
if,
Olympic hockey.
if I'm playing, it's social. Competitive sevens, I should not be on the field. It's for the small, fast guys for sure. So
Okay.
but so that'll be like next 2 or 3 months during the summer, and then in the fall, probably August, end of August, beginning of September, something like that. We'll start up our fall 15 season. And yeah, I mean, we'll have games pretty much every weekend until
It's 15 on 15,
15 on 15.
and then 7 on 7.
Correct. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that just seems like a completely different game. You
Same
wouldn't need
size
to be.
field.
Okay, yeah, it would be like
Yeah.
more like guys like me and Casey out there flying around.
Exactly.
Exactly.
That's what I'd be in. I'm staying away from the monsters like this ogre over here.
a lot of soccer players do transition well over. Like that's how they kind of get into rugby. Is they come in from soccer. It's a better transition. Yeah, I mean, 15s is a lot more brutal. Like a lot more brutal. I mean, like I said, the collisions are more brutal. The size of the guys are bigger. You're in tighter spaces, so it's harder to get away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's sevens is fun though. It is. It's exciting. It's usually like it's not like one game. It's like a whole day.
Yeah,
a
it'd
whole
be
tournament.
like 4 games in one day.
Yeah.
Oh
Because
shit.
the games are only 14 minutes long, 7-minute halves.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's an all-out sprint for that time. If it's
Yeah.
higher level rugby, I mean, they're running the whole time. Like,
And tackling?
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly, yeah.
Essentially, it's so funny. It's like,
That sounds fun.
like
is,
the
dude.
kids wonder why we have them do so many burpees. It's like rugby is burpees. You literally run, do a burpee, get up, carry on. I mean, you're not doing a burpee. You're tackling, whatever, getting tackled. But same stuff, get up and get off the ground. So,
All right, so you guys are high school rugby coaches.
correct.
We are, yeah.
Okay. How many schools in the area are even playing high school rugby? Like, what school do you? If you don't have to say the school, you don't want to.
Oh, we can say.
We have 11 different schools.
Yeah. So
We're
we
a club
coach a
team.
multi-school team.
Yeah.
Where
Well, you coach a multi-school team.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's
So-
not like the actual
there
high
are-
school.
Exactly.
There are single school teams as well.
Okay.
But we are one. I think there's 2 or 3 multi-school teams in KC.
Yeah, there's 3.
Yeah,
No,
3.
4.
4. Okay.
4, yeah.
But yeah, so we pull kids. I mean, from
I guess if their high school doesn't have a team, they play with you.
yeah. Well, and there's even a couple kids that have chosen to play for us, just because they were interested in playing for our team, and
And not theirs.
yeah, I mean, we just
Traitors.
I think I mean,
We compete at a different level.
Yeah, we like
A
our
higher level than the high
yeah,
school.
like our team.
Really?
Our team is the only team. From Kansas City, actually, I think from Missouri.
I see that.
Well, no,
That makes sense.
Aquinas is good as well.
Yeah.
But so, but to nationals, like we have a national championship tournament at the end of May. So,
Are you guys a good team?
yeah, we're a great team. I think right now,
Like when you
we're-
guys go to are you guys are going to go to nationals and compete?
correct,
Like,
one
can
of
you
the-
do you think you guys are good enough to compete? Like, hang in there.
yeah,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Nice.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, especially with the group we have this year, we definitely have a special group of kids. I mean, we've got some freak athletes, and
Yeah.
a lot of want to, which is good as well for sure.
How big what's the size range? Is it 15 on 15 in high school?
Yep.
What are the sizes of high school players?
I mean, They're definitely smaller than men. Well, there's a few that are about the same
Yeah, I mean, they're
size.
still growing. So.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, no.
Well, there's some big kids.
Dude, I mean, like the captain of our team he's a first team all state linebacker. We got linemen. I mean, it's a game for all sizes, honestly. So like you literally get every position you can think of transitioning from football. You can get basketball guys who end up coming out. A lot of wrestlers do really well.
Oh, that makes sense.
Like getting soccer players as well. So I mean, you get the all different shapes and sizes. I mean, it's an eclectic group. I mean, we got a little freshman who's probably not bigger than 5'4" and 130 pounds when he's soaking wet.
Don't let him play.
And then we got
he plays a
No
lot.
way.
He plays a lot.
He's been doing great.
Really?
We got this other
Hey,
kid.
Dynamite comes in small packages.
No
man.
way. Oh my
Hey,
gosh.
living proof right here, man.
Full on. Yeah, and then we got this other dude who's creeping up into working size.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, it's all over all over the place. But we've been around for this is our 31st season here in Kansas City. Started in 1992, and we're one of like the most probably like one of the teams that's gone to nationals probably like in the nation consistently, like one of those top teams who's consistently always competing in that level and taking it to kind of that next step and trying to push it up.
How are you getting these kids away? Is this their secondary sport a lot of the time? Are they like, I usually play football, but I'll come play rugby for the summer or whenever you guys play?
That's how it starts for sure. I see a lot of kids really start like
I'm just
get
wondering,
obsessed with it, dude.
Why does I don't know how to put this. The best athletes, in my opinion, are probably not playing rugby. As far as like the top athletes in a high school that are playing on basketball,
baseball,
football,
track,
they're getting the best of the best.
Totally.
That's the epitome of rugby in America for sure.
Yeah,
but
soccer's the same way. It's like these
totally.
little.
There's so many similarities between
Right.
rugby and soccer with regards to America. It's crazy,
Right?
And that's why they're trying to follow the same model as MLS for pro. They're
Okay.
hoping it takes off soon.
Yeah.
But it's like the thing is, we end up getting kids, they give it their shot. It's their senior year. Oh, whatever. Let me try this new sport. I've heard it's fun. Like we have a kid, he's a top 10 D lineman, and he came out and he's playing rugby and he's killing it.
Nice.
And it's like he like, it's so funny because, I think I said this to you when I was here last time. My biggest regret from high school is not playing rugby earlier. Mm-hmm. I started my senior year. I played lacrosse. Yes, it was fun. It's not nearly as fun as rugby. And I think that as far as my like rugby career and path, whatever worked out, I think it worked out fine, whatever. But like, it's so crazy when you see these kids. Like, for instance, honestly, prime example this year. So we had a bit of a numbers issue. And so we were putting more effort into recruiting and everything. And we had a couple kids, they were freak athletes and they had never played a game. We're like, listen, man, just please see it through. Like, try this out. I beg of you, please. Just for
you really got to sell it to them.
No, 100%. It's a little out there, especially with it not being affiliated to a school. But we're like, please, God, play one game. Both kids come up to us after the game. They're like, Coach, thank you so much. I had so much fun. This is fucking awesome. And I'm like, bro, I tried to tell you, but thank you.
Sure it is. Yeah.
You had to see it for yourself, and that's great. And thank you for saying that. Tell your friends. Let's go. Let's get some more. Exactly. But honestly, those moments are definitely so like fulfilling, I would say.
Oh yeah.
Or like
you stole one.
Or like yeah.
You stole one.
You won him over.
Or when you see the kid who he might not get in the game, or it's his first or second rugby game, he gets the ball on a breakaway and he's grinning just ear to ear. You're like, okay, this is awesome.
Oh, you know the feeling. You have a related. You know the feeling that he is experiencing in that moment.
Right.
You have felt that same joy, and it's just like,
oh,
awesome.
I love the feeling of a breakaway.
100%.
Yeah, God, sports are the best.
Agreed.
Sports are the best. Okay, so last time you were here, so it was about 4 years ago, and you were telling me our rivals. Because I'm saying our now. I'm a Kansas City guy.
Yeah.
Our
Big
rivals.
Blue supporter.
That's for sure. Their rivals is St. Louis, which I love. Yeah. And last time you was like, "There's no rival because we crushed them all the time."
So I was.
So what's going on?
I was worried you were going to say that. So they actually have rebounded quite well.
Oh no!
Yeah, no. So they're actually credit to them. I have a lot of friends on that team, so I can't really actually talk trash. But yeah, no, they've bolstered their squad. We'll say that. I think they might still be playing for something at this point. I'm not sure.
In terms of like national championship or something.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe.
But yeah, they got the better of us this fall.
I hate to hear that. I hate to hear that.
They tapped into a good university out there, the Lindenwood University.
Yeah.
Matt played a few years there, and they're kind of like a rugby powerhouse.
They're like a feeder, essentially now
here in the nation.
What do we do? What do we do, guys? How are we going to compete?
We got to start UMKC rugby and get them strong.
Yeah, what's the closest college around here that has a rugby squad, if there is one?
KU. And KU's good.
KU's really
KU's
good. They got a lot of history.
Do they have is it intramural or is it like an actual?
I think it is a club sport.
Yeah, it'd be considered club.
Yeah,
it's not varsity.
I mean,
there's still only a handful of varsity colleges.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah,
such
that's
a hard
actually
sell.
when we went to South Africa, that's who we went on tour with was KU.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
They needed more players. We're like, yep.
Nice.
In there.
So are there tours coming up?
There's talk of one. I've heard murmurs of Australia, which would be super cool. I heard murmurs of England and Wales, but I think that Wales was a part of your last one, so I don't know why.
But we want to go back to Rumney. We want to go back. So we have this kind of like sister club or whatever you want to call it in Wales. They've been over to America a handful of times, played us, stayed at some of our guys' houses and things like that. Like when we've
hosted their
them and
players
stuff.
too, to come play
a season for us.
Oh,
and
wow.
There's been Blues guys who've gone over there and played, and so
what a cool.
That's
community,
rugby, man.
Exactly,
That's rugby, man.
And so when we went over there in March, we lost. I think it was like 29-5, something like that. It was they did us over.
Help yourself
good,
to more Terramana, my
I
friend.
might have
Just
to for
go
sure.
ahead, knock yourself out.
Cheers, brother. Appreciate that. They've definitely been over more than we've been over there, and so we actually played really, really well. It was our first match of the tour. And, I think that's why there's talks of it, because a lot of guys are hungry to get back there. And plus, Cardiff, dude, is such a freaking cool city. And we only had like 2 days there. It was a blitz. Like, I would have loved to stay in Cardiff a little bit longer. Like,
are
the
you
Welsh
guys
people are awesome.
making money on the tour?
Mm-mm.
Oh, no. You're
It's out of
paying.
pocket.
Everything's
you're
out of
paying a
pocket.
couple grand at least, typically.
I hooked up a tour package. It was like, at the time.
There's a company that puts them on.
Yeah, it was literally $2,750. And that gets
so
you
$3,000 gets you
flights, hotels, your breakfasts in the morning, transportation all around, all that stuff. You basically just need money for partying and souvenirs. Like literally, it's like all you need money for. So it's solid, man. It was a great time. But yeah, I definitely doing it. I mean, it's stressful, but it's worth it. It is. So we if we can pull another one off, we will. Definitely
I get it. Like I said, I've been an athlete my whole life. I'm a jack of all trades. Like soccer was my one and only love my whole life. Like I played through college, but I've also played every other sport. And then after college, I got hooked into disc golf.
Oh.
Frisbee. I don't know why. That's the first time I ever called it disc golf. People hate it, but I call it frisbee golf. That's what it is. It's frisbee golf.
golf.
Yeah.
Fuck all you discs. It's whatever. It's frisbee golf.
What about people that call it frolf?
That's before my time. That's even before my time, and I was playing in like 2000. That was like a Jerry Seinfeld thing. Frolf. That came from Costanza.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I don't know that's where it came from, but he used it in an episode.
Fair.
But I was the same way. Like I loved traveling. I was playing in a tournament every weekend. I was living in Michigan at the time in a shitty little town called Bay City, Michigan, working at Red Lobster, serving fish. And on the weekends, I'd go travel 2-3 hours away all over Michigan and playing in tournaments. And then like I ended up flying like to Phoenix one year to go play in I was just I would come to Kansas City and play. Same thing,
awesome.
just
Very similar
Yeah.
to club rugby.
And it was amateur. I played amateur. I wasn't quite good enough to be pro, but at least there you still have the chance to like win fake money, and you can use that fake money to buy other frisbees. And then you can turn around and sell those frisbees.
Oh, okay.
So there is a way to kind of make money and kind of at least supplement some of your income that you're spending on
For sure.
these. But is there anything like? Do
They
you
have
guys like
tournaments.
sell?
They have tournaments where they have like cash prizes and stuff like that. I mean, but usually that just like goes to the club.
Yeah.
Like everybody is in agreement like that. We're gonna put that money back into the club to like help us. You know.
And that's the whole thing with it too. Is it's like, I mean, fundraising alongside. Well, I mean, like for instance, you pay money to play, so that goes to field costs, referee costs, some sort of logistical things like that.
How much does it cost to play on the Kansas City Blues if you make the team?
I think it's $325
for.
That's like the dues.
I think that's the dues
for 6 months or how long?
No, that's for like 2 or 3 months, and you can do payment plans and stuff like that.
Okay.
Also, if you're listening to this, come play for the Blues. If you're in high school, come play for the Junior Blues.
Also, if you're in high school and you're listening to this podcast, I hope you have your parents' permission. This is not for you.
That was more for the parents listening. Send your kids to come play rugby for the Junior Blues. We will help mold them into strong-willed, good men of character rugby players.
Yeah.
Okay. When I think of a rugby player, I think of a partier.
Okay, that's
I feel
fair.
like you guys are like, you guys like to party. Like you guys like to drink, and you probably like to drink beer.
Like drink beer. Like
of course, we are
sing
drinking the hard
songs.
stuff right now. Sing songs, of
Like,
course.
sing
Yeah.
songs, yeah.
I mean, okay, so
Hit each other in the butt heads with each other on purpose.
yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
people
I
do
mean,
that.
100%.
People do that.
There's definitely that, but okay, so to that
Pranks.
same degree,
Yep.
obviously it's a little
Probably
different.
there's probably a lot of dicks swinging around at each other.
Not on any teams I'm on. No.
You know?
But I mean, bro, it's the whole thing though. So it's yes, 100%. There is a partying aspect to it,
Which I love.
at the men's level. But it's a little more just strictly rugby focused in high school. But it's like, I mean, you'll get the goofy kid, the nerd, whatever. He comes out and tries rugby, and he turns into a badass. I mean, it's like you can find the kid. Casey, what do you say? I want the kids on suspension. I want the expelled kids. I want the kids.
Yeah, everybody wants them, not just you.
But like, no, but it's like, not only will he help, like, will he love rugby and it'll help him, but like, it can help you in life. Like, there's just so many like parallels between rugby and the adversity you face and stuff like that to life, and it's.
Plus, he probably knows where all the good drugs are at.
I mean,
Hilarious. Oh,
I suppose that's a possibility.
that is hilarious, mate.
But yeah, I mean, it's just crazy though. Just and it's fun with some of the kids. We've gotten to see the transformation. Like from year to year, and it's like, holy shit, that kid grew a foot,
Totally.
and he's like jacked now. Like he was the goofball who's dropping the ball and can barely walk and chew gum, and now he's out there trucking people.
Yeah, I like the dudes who have like a chip on their shoulder. You know what I'm saying? Same deal like you were saying, like.
Get a little closer on that mic for me.
Sorry about that. Yeah, the guy, they might be like second string, third string. They might be a little bit more badass than the kid who's beating them. The other kid might just be a bit more athletic, right? Or have a bit better training or some stuff. So that's a kid that you're like, oh dude, I can make that dude into a great rugby player. He's got a bit of a chip on his shoulder. I mean, even like
I can mold him.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
Like, oh bro, like I can get you going in this and get you set up, and you're gonna have a great experience.
Yeah.
All the stuff that, like you're saying, that we've been talking about so far already, especially with the traveling.
You
and
see
all
a
those
little
doors.
project.
Yeah, you're like, bro, here, boom. Let me give you this little, blueprint of how to be a rugby player and, go live life. And it's amazing. Like, as much as I can do that, dude, I will. I'll encourage it as much as I can. And, anyone who's interested in it, yeah, I'm always open to, like, speaking about it. When Matt hit me up about this, I was literally like, oh, yeah, dude, I'll go there and talk rugby and whatever. Like, I'm always down for it because it's done so much for me, man. Like, leaving, went to Rockers High School and, was obviously very like structured and very, okay, what are you going to do? Setting up your life and And, I was a bit of a floater and stuff like that. And so rugby gave me, something to grasp onto, to work hard at and everything. And I started like realizing like, dude, all these people travel, like, so you could just message a club and tell them, hi, I'm an American. I'm interested in coming down. Do you have any like contacts of somebody who I could, speak to about getting work, speak to about getting, a place to stay? Yeah, absolutely. We'll get you down here. Let me talk to you, get you hooked up with my guy, Fred, and Fred knows this other guy. And what do you do for work? And all your, they literally are like working to help you get down there. I was like, this is so sweet. I'm just going to tap into this, and I did that for well over a decade. And, New Zealand, went on tour to South Africa, down to Australia as well, spent time down there. And when I came back, started working a little bit. And so I was about 27, and I was like, sweet, dude, I got so much awesome experience. I've been working with my family business, doing tile work on and off, tiled in Australia, tiled when I was down in New Zealand. Utilize these skills that my dad gave me here. Down there with people, they hooked me up.
The world needs tile.
Bro, it does, dude. It's tile.
That's one of those skills. There's those trades that you learn that can be. I used to lay carpet. I fucked with tile a little bit, but carpet was my thing for a minute.
Fully. So and it's just, we have all those connections now through the club too, where it's like we're just open to freaking, where do you want to go, bro? Where do you want to go in the world? What do you want to do? We can literally get that linked up. It doesn't have to be so isolated. Like I was a bit, anti-establishment, stuff like that too. So, I was like, I don't want to freaking go to MU or KU and do the same old, frat life thing with everybody, I'm trying to do something different, man. And rugby gave me that little bit of an outlook and that pathway to do it. And so it was awesome. It was I encourage it as much as I can.
But still, like you can travel far overseas, but I feel like there's probably a lot of countries that are similar to ours where rugby's just not really on their radar.
I'd say so.
Like, what do you have? Like, you have some of the European countries, South Africa, but is there anywhere in South America? Is there a Mexican rugby team?
Yeah.
Is there?
So Argentina is definitely the best South American team. They're very good. Yeah. They're very good. Chile's pretty good. They're
South American rugby.
Chile made it so the U.S. didn't make the World Cup.
Yeah,
really.
Peru's been good before. Uruguay's good.
Peru's got a team.
Yeah,
Peru's on my spot where I'm kicking around the idea of going down there and visiting. It's not that expensive.
I'd love to.
I was just looking at tickets 2 weeks ago. Round trip is like $700.
That's cool.
I don't think that seems like too bad.
That's legit.
Not at all.
And it's only 2 airplanes, like from here to Atlanta and from Atlanta to like Lima.
That's sweet.
Like 16 hours from now, you can be in Peru.
Do it.
I'm thinking about it.
Do it.
So
I don't know any Spanish though, so
you'll figure it out.
Yeah,
we were talking about that on the way here.
Got your Google Translator.
Yeah, you're right.
But so one thing, kind of like what you were saying about, if there's other countries like us. For instance, when I studied abroad in Spain, I
want to go to Spain.
Spain is awesome. Highly recommend it. But so I went there not knowing of a specific team or anything like that, but I brought my boots and my stuff, and I was like, yo, I'm going to find a team there. I went to the local Irish pub. I was like, hey, what's up? Is there a rugby team I can play for here? Like, I play in the States, blah, blah, blah.
An Irish pub in Spain.
Yeah, so there's tons
of always find an Irish pub.
Yeah, there's tons of expats in Spain, especially where I was at in Spain.
Irish expats or American
Irish,
expats?
English,
okay.
American,
white,
you name it.
Western expats, is that?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Okay.
But like he's like, oh yeah, go to these guys. I went to this training, I was like the top 2 people there. I was like, I shouldn't be one of the best guys there. Like, is there like a higher level team here? Yeah. He's like, oh, like I thought you were like in it more for fun. I was like, I want it competitive, whatever. So he like steered me to, ended up being my university's team.
Oh wow.
But it's like, so then I have a whole nother outlet. I have a 20, 30 new friends, and we were unified through rugby. Everyone's speaking in Spanish. I'm talking to a guy. It turns out he's from Scotland. We start speaking in English, and it's like, but then it's like
sort of, right?
I mean, yeah,
Scottish
sort of. Scottish is a little harder for sure. But I mean, it's just like, it's crazy though, because then I instantly, okay, now I'm with locals, I'm getting that experience, and rugby took me down that avenue, and it's like, it's just wild. I mean, shoot.
You guys are living life because of rugby. Like, it's really giving you a fucking cool perspective on life. And
I mean, one thing that came to mind when we were talking about this, when I was in New York, I did a bit of couch surfing in New York my first year pro there. I'm not gonna lie.
I like that. God, that's romantic.
I mean,
that's so romantic.
Well, it wasn't like it's not as typical as couch surfing sounds. I mean, I stayed a couple months on my buddy's couch at one point. I stayed in an extra
literal
room.
couch.
His literal couch,
dude. That's awesome.
Hey, but you know what? If you want it, find a way.
Yeah,
hey, you'll find. I say this all the time to the boys when they say they're missing trainer ever. Hey, my high school football coach said this: you'll find a way or you'll find an excuse. If it matters to you, you'll make it happen. Straight up. So it was important to me. I wanted to do it. Beg, borrow, steal, whatever. I don't care. I'm going to make it happen. And I ended up staying in the rugby house there till when there was an extra room, and then there was a moment they're like, hey, we need you out next week. That the guy who has that room's coming. Like, you gotta get out. And so I'm reaching out to my rugby network.
We like you, we don't love you.
Well, pretty much. But so literally a guy I had never met, his name's Kamani Davis, amazing guy. He was like, hey, yeah, come to my house. Like, I'll show you what I've got. Like, my wife and I have an extra room. He's like, how long do you need? I was like, I mean, if you could give me 2 weeks, like, I can sort it out. And he's like, okay, sweet. I move in there, him and his wife, the nicest people ever.
Dude,
Listen to this. It gets crazier. My second day there, Kamani pulls me aside and he says, hey, man, you know, you're a great guy. Like, we love having you. I know you only asked for 2 weeks, but like, honestly, you can stay here as long as you need. Like, I want to do whatever's going to help you accomplish your rugby dream.
Did he talk to his wife before he had that conversation?
You know, I didn't go there. I only ended up staying there for 2.5 weeks because the luck of New York and knowing people and friends. One of my really good buddies out there, his parents owned an apartment building, and I moved in with him there, and it's just like crazy, but all this just like fell into place, and like the rugby community just like had my back. Like, I called in the morning, and in the afternoon I have a place to stay. You know, it's just like,
you know what's nuts, dude, is when you were saying that, I totally forgot to. So after high school, when I went, like I said, I wanted to travel, do all that. I went to New Zealand, and same thing, dude. You find a way, you find an excuse. I stayed for the first like month and a half in the same room as my buddy I played with. Okay. Yeah, like in the same room on like a tiny little, you know, twin bed, you know, half a mattress thing, and then ended up living in a garage with a bunch of like the Maori boys down in New Zealand after that, just so I could play and like live and stuff, dude. So yeah, you just like do it because it's just like,
if it's important to you, you'll make it happen.
Yeah.
Such as anything in life, dude. For real. But.
And it's just like in this environment with the rugby guys, it's just like it is, dude. It's a beautiful thing. It is, bro.
Straight up.
Damn.
Yeah, in a garage, bro. Me and this other Fijian dude just kicking it.
Fijian, dude?
Yeah.
What's that?
A Fijian? Like a
Fiji.
A guy from Fiji.
Okay.
Yeah. So he lived over there, and we stayed at this guy's house, Sam. He was a Maori guy. That's like the native New Zealander. And yeah, I just got linked up with him when I started playing on the under-21 team.
Yeah, fun.
After I had been living in that guy's room, like he was a housemate to these other people. He was just renting the room there, and he's like, oh, my American friend's coming for like a little while. And I ended up like staying there a month and a half, and you know, eventually literally same kind of deal. Eventually they were like, you know, like, what are you gonna do? Like, how long are you planning on just like staying here with me? The guy had a girlfriend and shit, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, you know, tucked away in the corner and stuff. Like,
don't mind me.
Thankfully, there's none of that, but no, and eventually, yeah. And so I talked to some of the guys on the team, and the you know, the Islander boys were just like, oh, dude, Uppy's living in the garage. You can stay in the shed with him. And I was like, all right, done. I'll do it. Fuck it.
For a minute there, when you said Islander boys, I was thinking the Island Boys.
Oh yeah. No. I forgot about
just
them.
Island Boy.
I forgot about them.
Yeah. He actually stayed with them.
Island Boy. Remember those wild motherfuckers? What happened to them? What happened to the Island Boys?
They got their 15 minutes.
They got their 15. You know what's so funny?
Yeah.
They really could have capitalized on that. And they just kept pissing it away.
Yeah.
And they were like, we're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. They turned their 15 minutes into about 30 minutes. But now, I good luck finding the Island Boys.
I don't know, man.
They're castaway boys now.
Yes. Castaway boys. We don't see you. All right, let's take a little, you guys want to take a little break? Because I do. Oh, boom, we're back. We all had to take a leak. You guys acted like you didn't have to. But when we cut these mics on, ladies and gentlemen, don't let them fool you. You're like, oh, thank God. Thank God you stopped it. We got to pee. All right, now I'm trying this. I went to the Bubbles, my local liquor store, and I asked for a particular, it's called Ancient Age. It's a whiskey. And he said, we don't have that, but I got this Benchmark. It's comparable to it. It's like a $15 bottle of whiskey. It cannot be good. However, TikTok told me that it is good. So I'm about to find out. You guys got serious. I'm mixing it up. Oh, shit. Damn, that ain't bad.
Like that? All right.
Wow. Benchmark over a fat ice cube. One of those big cubes. Wow. That is a lot better than I would have thought.
$15.
For $15, that is that's good. That's actually for $15, that's really good.
Funny enough, that just reminded me of when we went down to the lake for my girlfriend's family's lake house for Memorial Day weekend. Her uncle showed up with a case of wine from Dollar Tree. He's like, hear me out. And apparently it was good. I'm not a big wine guy, so I didn't really have any, but everybody was raving about it. It was like a $3 bottle from Dollar Tree. I didn't even know they sold liquor at Dollar Tree.
Well, there's a Trader Joe's $2 chuck.
Yeah.
That's legit. Aldi's, you guys shop at Aldi's?
Yeah, I live right by the one in Waldo.
Their Winking Owl, that brand of wine.
Okay.
I've never had it.
Yeah.
It's like $3 a bottle. I stand by it.
Okay.
White or red. The $3 a bottle, Winking Owl. I think that's what it's called. I got some in my refrigerator right now. You don't think I don't? I do. I'll show you when we'll cut these things off. I'll bring a bottle down. I'll show you. You guys don't believe me. Look at you.
Hey. I believe you.
I believe you.
All right. Thank God. All right. What is... you can only play rugby for so long when you're visiting these other countries. Yeah. What are you guys getting into, other than you said zip lining?
Yeah,
but what's a typical? Trip in Ireland, like Ireland, Wales.
Well, so I didn't go on the Ireland tour. I could not go, unfortunately. But for the South Africa tour, that one was action packed. We did a safari. We went to 4 international rugby games, and we went to, I think, 4 professional rugby games there as well. Honestly, and then, what else we do? Essentially sightseeing, just we went on a winery tour. Oh, my gosh.
And it's all you guys. It's all one team. Like, how many of you are going? If it's 15
we
on
had
15,
a full coach bus.
What does that mean? 20?
There's maybe 28.
Yeah, 28.
Almost maybe
28
30 guys.
Maybe 28, 30 guys. And then there was
And you guys are all friends? It seems like
we didn't know a lot of them.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
usually that's how it is. There's always a few guys on a tour. It's just like you need guys to go. You need people who are willing to pay the money to do it, obviously. So
because not the entire Blues team can just quit.
Take a whole week.
$3,000, $3,500 in a week.
Shoot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How long are you going for? A week?
It was 10
the
days.
South Africa
Perfect.
one was 18.
Yeah, South
18
Africa was
days?
longer. Yeah.
That one was a long one.
Yeah, that was much more of a commitment. But
yeah. That one was wild. Though.
Yeah, it was
so fun.
So it depends on your tour manager. If you got somebody who does it a lot, like the South Africa one, KU does a tour every 2 years. Their rugby club's been doing that. They've been around for almost 60 years. So every 2 years they go and travel somewhere. So they got it pretty down pretty good. And the guy who runs it, has been to a bunch of these countries, and so he knows these are going to be fun things to do. Some tours are going to be a little more loose. They'll let people. Some of the guys are literally just going to party the whole time, while others go and do the touristy activities. But it kind of depends on the country you're at too. Like South Africa. It's one of those countries that's very spread out, and it's also dangerous in certain areas, so you kind of have to stick together more. Whereas if you're in, Cardiff, Wales, it's not, the most dangerous place. You can kind of let people wander around to where they go. Some days you're literally it's just like a pub tour. And you just pop from pub.
Like that.
It's like a bar. What do they call it? Bar crawl. Yeah, and you just hop from pub to pub, and you just create these great memories in this little path that you go on and stuff. And that's usually how you get introduced to a city. Is you go around, you hit the pub crawl, and go all around and stuff like that. And so you kind of get your ground. You kind of get your grasps of okay, this place is here.
Your sea legs.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of figure out where everything's at. You can navigate around a little bit better, and then you'll have.
And it
stuff
helps that you're going
out.
to primarily English speaking.
Totally. I've never gone. Matt, like you said, Matt played in Spain, but I've never done a tour where
Why
your
don't
dad
you
hasn't
guys
been.
set one up for down south somewhere?
That's what dude,
I
my
agree.
dad's dream is Argentina. My dad's been talking about it for a long.
Well,
long
let's
time.
go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
You should come on
Dude,
the
yeah,
next Blues
exactly.
tour. Honestly, come as a tourist.
Dude, exactly.
That's literally that is the epitome
When
of
and where?
of a tour.
of a tour. Yeah,
We'll let
exactly.
you know.
Argentina, let's fucking go. I'm
All
down
right,
for
all right.
south of the border.
I'll look
Well,
into it.
I
I
will
will.
100%
South,
let you
south of
know.
the equator, baby.
Hell
Honestly,
yeah.
it helps having good supporters too. Like you would totally be a great wild card. I'm certain.
Yeah, people.
Like,
yeah,
I don't know what that
exactly.
means, but
Like,
thank you.
oh my! I mean, to be honest, I think you'd probably fall into some sort of MC role where you're just like talking shit on the people on the bus with the mic at the front.
Yeah, usually everyone has like a job or like.
Yeah. And there's always
a
like
role
talent
that you have to
shows
do.
and like
Yeah.
a
I'm very
rook-
talented, you
There's like a
guys.
rookie show. So if it's your first tour ever, you have to do a skit or whatever.
Okay.
Like, we did one. It was hilarious. We did David and Goliath.
Yeah.
Oh, of course you did.
Yeah, it was
Loin
so
cloths,
funny.
Full on. Yeah.
Full on like we made,
You know what? Hold on, Charles. You remember me about 30 minutes ago saying I bet there's a lot of dicks being shown around, and they lauged at me like, no.
Hey,
They're talking
we were
about a
clothed.
loincloth.
We were clothed. We were clothed.
Nailed it.
I did actually get a guy did do
A guy did do a naked show, I guess.
A guy
course he
did
did.
do a naked show. A guy did do it full on by himself. Yeah, that's hilarious.
I mean, that person's name is also Caveman.
Yeah,
So,
impersonated one. So
and
yeah.
he was a caveman. Good.
Yeah.
Hey.
Shout out,
Yeah,
shout
so
out
it's-
Caveman.
So it's good.
You're a
Yeah,
legend,
you
mate.
got jobs and stuff, and like somebody's meant to be the DJ. Someone's meant to be the guy that like figures out where to eat every place.
You have
go.
a poet on
yeah,
tour?
someone's meant to like every place you go. You're supposed to
No,
like. Have
we don't need
swear.
we don't need a poet.
Oh,
That-
it's
you know,
hilarious. It's fucking
Comedic, you know,
hilarious.
It's good. It's good.
I mean, it ends up like some of them are raps, some of them are poets or
I'm
poems.
gonna
like,
boo that man every time I come. Get
oh yeah,
outta
you're
here.
booing until
It's
you're
good.
laughing your
Yeah,
ass off.
Exactly.
Like,
exactly. It's clever. It's clever.
Yeah.
It's meant to just get inclusivity. Everybody's got to hold down some responsibility, so
Yeah.
you don't just have some like freeloaders who's coming along and just fuck around. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
100%.
It's all about like, yeah, we're here together. We're holding this down. We're representing this team, and we're here to have a good time. But at the same time, like the rugby aspect of it is, we want to fucking win.
Don't forget why we're here.
Exactly. We're here to be able to go back home and also to say, yeah, we came to Ireland and won both of our games and beat two decent Irish teams, with a thrown together squad, like just because we.
I'm down. I'm still fast.
Dude, that's what I was saying.
I was gonna
What are
say, you can honestly get on the field.
bro,
I
that's what I'm
scrimmaged.
saying.
We scrimmaged. My 9-year-old plays soccer, and we did a parents versus the kids game the other day. Let me tell you something. Not only did I have 4 goals against these kids, but I took it extremely easy. And I even dropped one kid and made him cry.
Oh yeah,
That's right. I took a shot from
still got
midfield, hit him directly in the side of the face. He dropped down harder than just like the fattest woman you've ever seen. Just bam!
You're like,
and
still got
started
it.
crying. I was like, dude, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Why were you standing there? He had to go off. He had to go off the sideline and continue to cry. And this was the biggest kid on the team. And he came back and shook it off, and then. But I
That
still
is
got it, you
excellent.
guys. I'm 43, but I still got it.
Hey man, you remind me.
I
of
could
my,
be a hooker.
You remind me of my buddy Terry from down in Australia. I played with this guy at the club I played with in Australia. His name was Terry, and he started playing for the club again when he was about 45 years old, and he ended up being like a pivotal part of our team. We went into the championship of the league and everything. We ended up losing in the championship, but great freaking guy, dude. Great guy, Terry, and he was an older bloke, bro, and got after it, man. So. The desire's there.
I'm not a great guy, but I can get after
And
it.
the desire's there, you can do it. Full on, man. Everyone's welcome,
100%.
Well, so going back to how we can defeat our rivals of St. Louis, fuck those people. How can we recruit? How can we get our Blues back into dominance form against those people over there that covet the arch?
That's a great question. I mean, well,
What do we have to do?
for starters, I mean, if you're listening to this and you're able-bodied and interested, I mean, you don't even have to be fit. You'll get fit playing rugby. Come on out. I mean, we got a website, kcblues.org.
I don't know the rules. I don't know how to play. I've
Hey.
seen it on TV once or twice. What do you say
we'll
to
teach
me?
you. Zero experience needed, honestly.
Aren't I going to get laughed at?
No.
You're gonna be like, what is this guy
We'll
doing
be
here?
happy to have you. Honestly, the boys are a great group of folks, and You know, we love to have everyone. We wouldn't turn away anyone. And I mean, hit us up on Instagram as well. KC Blues Rugby.
What if I play 1 or 2 plays and I'm just gassed? I'm winded. I need a break already.
Well,
You're gonna have to tough it out,
yeah,
mate.
Nice.
Yeah. It's a grow. Hey,
Sorry, bro. You're gonna have to tough it out.
I think there's a lot of people that go through life and they don't always challenge themselves. And taking on a sport like rugby is a great challenge for someone who has no idea, or if they're not fit or whatever. It's the whole thing. It's like when we start our season, we're getting like we run our kids a lot. They need to run. You got to be fit to play rugby. Fit rugby's fun rugby. So it's better to think about what's my job, what am I doing next, rather than fuck, I am tired as shit, And the whole thing is, so they're complaining in the beginning. I'm just like, hey, just give it all you got, and every time we do it, you'll be able to do a little more.
Yeah.
You'll be a little better. It just happens.
Yeah.
That's how it works. You just try.
It's called cardio.
Yeah,
Exactly.
100%. No, exactly. But it's like, that you're hearing all the yapping and the bitching, and then two months later, they're running circles around you, and you're like, see, what'd I tell you? I know you're upset, but,
When do you guys practice?
Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Yeah, Tuesday, Thursday
What
nights.
time and where?
I believe 7 to 9
It's close to that.
at Swope Soccer Village.
Yeah, it's gonna be switchers. We're gonna be jumping around a little bit.
Yeah, with sevens, it will be a bit
Sevens
different.
is different.
Sevens is different.
Sevens is different. They'll be at Indian Hills Middle, I think, right?
Yeah, they're Indian Hills.
I've heard of that.
Middle
Where's
to
that at?
start.
It's like 63rd and Row, no? One of those?
Okay. Kansas?
Yeah, in Kansas.
Okay. So anybody can just... Is there a website people
Yeah.
can go check out to be
kcblues.org, or search Kansas City Blues Rugby on Google, Kansas City Blues Rugby on Instagram. DM us, whatever. We'll facilitate it. Obviously, we would love to have anyone and everyone. And
Matt, are you done?
You just might like it.
Are you done playing professional rugby?
I am done playing professional rugby.
How
Honestly,
come? Are you too old?
I'm not too
or
old.
don't want to do it anymore? Like, what?
I mean,
not want to do it, but it's not worth.
I would love to do it.
Okay.
I would love to. It was an amazing experience. I mean, if smiles filled my bank account, I would be a very rich man from those experiences. They flew me all over the country. I met amazing people. I saw cool things. I got to play 2 rugby games in the Coliseum in LA. Like, that's
cool.
crazy. We played out in Coney Island in New York. I mean, just unbelievable venues. So, I mean, I wouldn't replace that, or I wouldn't, take back any of that. It was amazing. But it just, as I'm getting older, I'm 33 years old. You gotta move on a little bit. If you're,
Oh,
the money's
no.
not really, it's a
Is
shame.
this the excuse?
It could be an excuse. Maybe I'm copping out. I mean,
What was the
I'm
saying?
still loving playing with the
You'll
Kansas City
either do
Blues.
it or you'll make an excuse. What is that?
Yeah, no, that's fair. I mean, but at the same time, I just can't justify doing it for the money the potential of money, because it's just not there. And I loved it. I had 4 great years. It was unbelievable. Like I said, I wouldn't trade it for anything.
You're a professional athlete. That's cool to tell people.
Yeah, I mean,
Like, I played professional rugby. I was in the MLR.
Yeah.
I know you've never heard of it, but I played in it, baby.
100%, dude.
I mean, to be honest, it was so cool.
I bet it was. Come on, that's amazing.
The whole thing for me, though, in the beginning, I went down to New Orleans with no promises. Like,
That
I
was
was
the
like,
team you played. The first team.
my
was New
first
Orleans?
team was the New Orleans Gold. And
Oh, get out of here! How did you get hooked up with that? New Orleans. What a great city to go do anything in.
Unbelievable. I love that place. I'm going there in June. Cannot wait.
Oh, that's right. That's why we're doing this podcast now. I'm going to Vegas. You're going to New Orleans.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But I didn't have any contract guarantees of any kind going down there. But I was like, you know what? I'm done. I don't want to pay to play. I want to get paid to play. And I'm going to go down there and I'm going to bust my ass, see what I can make happen. And it was weird how it ended up. I got, the lowest contract you could do at the time. And
12,000.
pretty much, yeah, around that.
Good
Give or
guess.
take. Yeah, give or take.
Yeah.
Honestly, no, yeah. And I didn't care, though. I wanted to
Right.
be involved. My whole thing is I want to play the highest level of
So-
rugby I physically possibly can, as long as I physically possibly can. And the way my life's set up right now, I don't think that
How old were you when you first started?
that's the other thing. I started so late. I started when I was 28.
In New Orleans?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, 28. Yeah. So it was unbelievable. It was.
What were you doing before that? You were just playing the blues?
Yeah, I was playing for the Blues.
And you
selling
said, I'm
copiers.
sick of this. I'm going to see if I can play in the Major League Rugby League or
Well,
MLR, Major League Rugby.
Yeah,
The
we
reason
were
it
living in
started-
the house off of Campbell.
Yeah.
Me, you, Piggy, and Piggy.
You
Yeah.
played too?
Yeah.
Well, I was living with
not
him.
in the MLR, no, just with the Blues.
Okay.
Yeah.
But the thing is, so initially the word of this league came out. Kansas City was supposed to have a team. They paid initial buy-in money, and then something fell through with logistical money or
St.
operational
Louis
money.
probably
I don't
got
know.
involved somehow. Those motherfuckers.
Maybe. But so my whole thing initially was like, yo, if we're going to have a pro team here, I'm going to be a part of it. There's no way this is happening here and I'm not.
Right.
So I just started busting my ass, getting as fit as I possibly could, working out a shitload. And I got super fit. I had a really good season then. And then Kansas City's like dreams died. And I got in contact with New Orleans, and it just worked out, And
What were you doing for a normal job before that?
I was selling copiers at the time.
What?
Yeah, it was all right.
Selling copiers? How? What year is this? 1999?
No,
Well,
I mean
selling
shit,
copiers.
2017.
Who's selling copiers in the late
people-
20s? Aughts?
People are still printing and copying shit. So,
Wow.
I mean, it was just it was a random sales job. So I was like, yeah, well, let's do it. But then it's also like very easy to leave to go play pro rugby. I was like, yeah,
A sales
For
job
sure.
that was hooked up through rugby.
yeah, yeah.
Literally the
It was
job.
see
Through
exactly.
Okay. That's
That's right.
Yeah.
what? So when you moved down to Louisiana, you're not making that much. Are you making enough to live on, or do you have to have a part-time job?
You're gonna die. Okay, so all right, so we get to New Orleans. We they're
Who's
like,
we?
I'm sorry.
The royal
I actually
we?
no. So I did. Funny enough, my brother did ride down with me, so that was cool to at least not have to do the 14-hour drive by myself. And his wife was meeting us down there, so it worked out. Whatever. He's like, oh, this is the address where you'll be staying. Like, we have accommodation for you, whatever. I show up, and it's in a gated community on a golf course at a country club. Looks super nice. Show up. We go pull up to the oldest house in the neighborhood. Still a nice house. Not cutting it down, whatever. But
Gated community, I'm sure.
yeah, no, exactly. It was still really nice. But so I walk in and there's literally like 7 people there. I'm like, what the fuck? They're like, oh yeah, so here's your room. There's already 2 mattresses set up in this room. So in the lady that owned this house was still living in the house. She stayed on the first floor. She had all her area. We could use the kitchen freely, whatever.
What is going on here?
Yeah, no, it's so weird. It's so weird. And we had 12 people living in this on the top floor of this house. There was one room with 3 people, 2 or 3 rooms with 2 people, and then one kid had his own room.
What? How?
He just I don't know. This room was like
The math doesn't
no,
work
no,
out.
no. It was like no. This room was like an attic. Like you didn't really want it, but he wanted
a one-man tent.
he wanted his privacy, whatever. So that's
You
where
wanted that was a man addicted to jerking off, is what that is.
probably.
You
Who
guys
knows?
okay if I take the attic? Everyone's cool. No one's got a problem.
But no, so we're all living here, and she's like, okay, so it's gonna be $300 a month rent, and we're like,
For all 12 or a person?
per person. We're like, get the fuck out of here. This lady's getting $3,600 for renting out the top of her house, and it's like I feel
It's
bad
not
for the guys that
especially
shared
nice
her.
house. It's just a normal house.
It was a nice house. It was
Okay.
relatively big size, but like,
three.
I mean, I'm just like, I feel so bad for the guys sharing the room with me. I'm like, I snore so bad. Like,
Of course you do.
yeah, of course. Like I literally they're like, bro, I cannot sleep. Like what the hell? Anyways, it gets to the point where like it's coming up on the next month, and we're like, yo, we've got to get the hell out of here. Like this is just silly. Like we're grown ass men, like living here like some high schoolers or some shit, or college kids, whatever. And so we had befriended a neighbor in our neighborhood. Like we were the guys were outside throwing the rugby ball around, and he pulled over. He's like, "Hey, you guys play rugby? Like that's cool."
What kind of gated? I really question your definition of gated community with this right now. There's no way a legit gated community on a golf course is allowing some some single lady to host 15 men to be living upstairs.
Why did all
What's
these
going on?
I don't know that she got permission from the neighborhood,
That is actually
but
Like the homeowners association is going to have a real issue with this.
I mean, yeah, from one car in her driveway to 8, like, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know, But anyways, so this guy drove by. His name's Stacy. Cool as hell.
A dude named Stacy.
Yeah, he's a legend. But so he was like, "Oh, you guys play rugby?" They're like, he's like, "Oh, I like Jonah Lamu and the All Blacks." That's like being like, "Oh, you like basketball? I like Michael Jordan and the Bulls."
Yeah.
So everyone's like, "Oh yeah, what's up? Whatever." Like this dude's like, "Hey, I have a hyperbaric chamber. Like, let me know if you guys need
wow.
like recovery, whatever." So we ended
The
up.
guy that likes to jerk off was like, "Sign me up first."
But so we established a relationship with him. He started like, giving us treatments and shit. That stuff was awesome. And then he like had mentioned that he had this rental property. Like, "Hey man, what are the chances? Like, we would love to rent this from you." He's like, "Oh, it's it needs some work, whatever." He's like, "We can go look at it." So we go look at it. We're walking through. We're like, "Oh, this is awesome." He's like, "Yeah, it needs a little work." We're like, "No, this is perfect." He's like, "Well, how soon would you want to move in?" We're like,
Today for $200 a person?
No. We go, "So today?" And he's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "All right, well, we'll sort out, we'll first month's on me. We'll talk after that." We're like, "Wow, you're the man." Like, I mean, we call him Uncle Stacy. I love that guy. Actually looking forward to see him. He'll be at Nationals.
I saw it. Yeah, dude. That's awesome.
But so he was like, "Yeah, all good. We'll sort it out." And so, that wasn't exactly rugby. Rugby got us there, but just obviously the universe looking after us. And but yeah, so that ended up being an amazing setup, way better than that. But it's like, once again, by any means necessary. Like, who cares?
So in New Orleans, how are you surviving though? So you're living in that place for X amount, and you're not making like. Do you have to have a second job? Like
so luckily it worked out. Most off seasons, I would stack some money like of one kind or another, savings, build up my savings, and then for the first few months, I'd live as comfortably as I can, whatever, and live
with 3 other dudes in a room.
Oh, well, thankfully that was only 1 month, thankfully. But yeah, so I mean, essentially in the off season, I'd save up money and I'd live off that as long as I can. And then I got lucky when I was in New York because I had modeling money. Like that was, I lived and I'd never paid rent in New York.
Oh yeah, I forgot. I did. Yeah, so last time I had you on the podcast, we chopped it up about rugby the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And then somebody, I think, instant message DM'd me. He's like, "You should have talked to him about his modeling career." I was like, "I had no idea this dude was a model." What kind of you're a model? Funny you bring that up. So like I said earlier, no homo, that I've brought you up a few times to people when I'm talking, just like somehow you came up in conversation with my mom, and I was like, "Yeah, look at the size of this dude compared to me." And I show my mom, and my mom fancies some Matt working man. I was like, "Oh, he's handsome." I go, "Yeah, he's a male model too." Like, I can see it.
Yeah.
So how does the modeling thing? How did you get involved with that?
Oh my gosh, so that's actually pretty crazy. So it started when I was in New Orleans. I literally got a random call from a dude who's affiliated with the team. He was like, "Hey man, it's gonna sound really weird. I'm just gonna come out and say it." I'm like, "Where the fuck is this guy?"
I like this.
And he goes, "All right, so this dude contacted me and he wants you and these 2 other guys on the team, to send in these photos, full body, waist up, headshot."
You're like, "Sold.
profile,
Say no
right?
more."
Well, no, he's like Express New York wants to use you guys for these models or this photo shoot, whatever, pays $1,500 to $2,500 a day, and I'm like,
damn.
I'm like, "Yo, say less. I'm down. I'll bite. Whatever. What's up? All right." So
or not.
Yeah, or not. And so I sent in the photos, whatever. A few weeks go by. I thought nothing of it, whatever. So the guy's like, "Hey," I get a call a week later. Guy's like, "So what's your address? We're going to send you some clothes. We need you to do the same photos again, whatever." They sent me a suit and a pair of jeans. And they were like, "Oh, when you're done, you get to keep them." I did the photos, whatever. And I was like, "Oh, sweet. Free clothes. Like, if this doesn't go anywhere, at least I got a suit and jeans out of it." And then nothing happened for like 6 or so weeks. I got a call randomly. I'm like back in Kansas City. He's like, "Hey, they want you for a photo shoot in Ohio, whatever. They'll fly you out, put you up, pay you the X amount." And I was like, "Yeah, all right, I'm in. Let's do it."
Fuck yeah.
And I showed up.
Yeah.
I straight up showed up, and it was just like, "Yo, I've never done this. I have no idea what I'm doing. Any and all pointers are welcome." And like they're just like telling me what to do, and I was like, like I was trading off with another guy. Like he'd do a shoot while I'm like changing into my next outfit and whatever. I'd be like, can he go first? I was like, can he go first so I can at least like copy what he does? And so he like goes. I did it. It went well.
And you copied everything he did?
I mean, not exactly, but it's like, let me see how the hell you do this shit. I've never done this. Like,
yeah, for sure.
And so it ended up being fine. And then they like booked me for another one. And by then I had already been in contact with the New York Athletic Club to go up there and play club rugby for them. Cause I was trying to like be in the New York pro team's backyard, like, you know, setting myself up to get on with them. And I called the guy who had booked me, who actually ironically is now my mother agent. And I was like, hey man, I'm going to be in New York. I'm moving there. Like, if anything else like this comes across your desk, like, give me a shout.
Yeah, no shit.
And
I just got to stand here and look pretty and get paid $15
it's literally the best job ever. I'm not going to lie. But so,
wow.
Yeah, when he told me, dude, like, I was like, are you serious right now? He's like, literally, man, it's the funniest thing in the world, dude. I can't believe just only Matt working, it would happen to. It's so funny. And just laughing his ass off, just like fucking all the way to the bank. I don't care.
Yeah,
whatever.
but
Who gives a fuck?
Jeez.
And so I met up with him, and he's like, "Hey, listen, like I don't want to be an agent again, but I'll introduce you to some agencies. We'll start with the bigger ones, whatever." He got me a meeting with IMG. I met with them. Super nice people. They signed me like the next day, and I was like, "What the hell is going on?" So my hair was long as shit when I met with them. Like it was resting on my shoulders. And I met with them. I was like, listen, I thought about getting a haircut, but I figured you guys have like a blank canvas. You can do whatever the hell you want with my hair if I leave it like this. And they were like, yeah, all good, whatever. They sent me to like this salon there. And I'm like getting my haircut. And this lady's like, she's like, are you here from IMG? And I was like, yeah. She's like, oh, honey, your life's about to change. Like all this shit. Like, I was like, what the hell? Like, this is crazy. And like a week later, I'm like shooting with Target out there. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like, honestly, it was super cool. I mean, super strange. It's so weird. Ironically, I was on a podcast out there, and this guy was like, yeah, it's really weird when you get compliments about this because, essentially people are just saying, hey, nice face. Like,
right, yeah.
Like, but it's like whatever. But honestly, like, it's so funny because it's like, when you're doing that shit, everyone's like keeping to themselves and all like quiet and like on their phone acting disinterested. And I'm like, hey, what's up? I'm Matt. Like, like the friendly Midwestern guy. They're like, oh, this guy, fuck off. Like,
yeah, you don't strike me as the typical model.
Honestly, I just like half the time I'd just be like, hey, don't tell these people I'm not a model. Like, I'm just here for the food. Like, just like talking shit. Because also like the food on the set, it's out of this world.
Really?
Like, unbelievable. Yeah. It's like it was wild. Just so nice.
Are you a big foodie?
Yes.
Casey, are you a foodie?
I'd like to say I am, but I'm not on like any type of crazy level. But this dude knows how to eat, bro. I've like I said, I've been freaking best friends with him since senior year of high school, and I just like usually at restaurants I'll just wait, see what he orders, what is he getting,
really?
and I'll kind of monitor off of it. But the way he eats food, dude, like he puts together these like perfect bites of food where it's like an eclectic look of a bite of food.
You just want him to feed you,
and I'm just
you?
like, dude, yeah, exactly. Like I learned how to cook when I lived with him, my buddy Piggy, my buddy Bishop. All three of those guys know how to eat, man. And so like that's where I learned how to cook, was living with these guys and getting.
All right, what are some good spots that you've had overseas? Are there any memorable dishes, restaurants, foods that you guys have had that you're like, whoa, that was awesome, or holy shit, I would never eat this. Haggis, I'm never touching that again.
I mean, shoot, yeah, there's plenty. Honestly, when you ask that question, the first thing that comes to mind is paella from my host mother in Spain.
Oh, no.
100%.
Really? Paella is like their national dish.
Oh, yeah. But, like, the thing that was cool is anytime anything great happened, oh, my dad's coming to town. Oh, someone's moving in. Someone's moving out. It's someone's birthday. I got a promotion. Whatever. Paella. Every time. Like, so, that's definitely up there.
How about Casey?
Dude, no, I mean, I'm a sucker for an Irish breakfast, bro. So, like, in Irish breakfast, English breakfast, I love the cafe, like that type of thing in the morning. So, I mean, I've had so many good breakfasts in Ireland and then in Australia too, especially. I actually worked at this kind of what they call Pan-Asian restaurant, so just like all sorts of different Asian cuisines. And it was that's really when I fell in love with Asian food, and it was amazing. I mean, Penang curry that I had.
Oh,
from that
nice.
spot,
I like a
dude.
good Penang.
So bomb. Yeah, so bomb. I've messaged the guy. I got a good relationship with the guy. He's giving me the recipe. I tried to emulate it at home, but it's like that scene from Mr. Deeds when he's like talking about the Frosties, and he's like, "Yeah, how'd you like those Frosties from when?" He's like, "Oh, I tried to make mine at home. It wasn't the same."
What?
You don't remember that scene from Mr. Deeds?
Nobody listening to this remembers that scene from Mr. Deeds.
Well, go back.
Who brings that up? Who brings the Mr. Deeds reference up?
That's what I'm saying, dude. I'm throwing the Mr. Deeds in there. Go back, watch it when he first flies into New York City. Excellent, dude. I'm a sucker for
I'm not
an Adam
going back
Sandler
and watching
movie.
Mr. Deeds for that. Shout out, I do like some Adam Sandler though.
I'm a sucker for an Adam Sandler movie, bro.
Yeah, so you're a little chef, a little cook, huh?
I try to chef it up.
Chef it up, sauce it up a little bit.
I try.
I
I
like
got some
that.
chefs in my family. I don't touch any of their skills at all. But I got some people to look up to.
All right, what are the top places in the Kansas City metropolitan to be eating for you guys? What are your favorite spots, and what do we get there?
Oh my,
That's a great question.
that is. I mean,
This is the best podcast in Kansas City for a reason, Casey.
love
Don't
that.
act surprised.
Hey.
yeah. I
course
mean,
it's a great
honestly,
question.
it's so
Love that.
hard.
I
It's
love
so
that.
hard to nail it down, really. I mean, I don't know if I even want to give up the secrets too, but a really good one, Tortilleria y Carniceria San Antonio in KCK.
I heard that's amazing.
Their barbacoa torta will change your life.
Really, a torta?
Yeah.
Not
My
many
order there.
people go for the torta. Not many
know.
gringos go for a torta.
Yeah,
I
well,
enjoy a torta.
Yeah, same.
yeah. My order there is a barbacoa torta and 2 pastor tacos. Their pastor is very nice as well.
You must eat a lot of fucking food.
Oh,
You're a big. I mean, I think you've gotten. No
Hey,
offense, a little
hey.
bigger since I last saw you.
no. I acknowledged that at the beginning of the
Right.
podcast. Thank you
You're
for
right.
pointing it out, Ryan.
Well, I'm like, of course he has a torta and 2 tacos.
Yeah, you're not even thinking. You're just like, what the hell?
But I honestly, I'm for some reason all sandwich spots are coming in my head. But I'm a really big fan of the #1 spicy in Il Saro at Bellinopoli in Brookside.
Okay.
Unbelievable. Very, very
Billinopoly?
good. Uh-huh.
I've
It's an
never
Italian.
heard of that.
It's a little Italian deli restaurant spot.
Okay, nice. Casey, what do you got for us?
I love Dos de Oros
Oh,
in
yeah.
South Kansas City, right off of like Blue Ridge and Holmes. It's really freaking good. And, usually I'll go for just a like steak burrito there, and it's bomb. The taqueria is what if I go to the taqueria, I'll get the steak burrito. They throw a bunch of queso on it. It's really bomb. If I go to the restaurant, I'll usually get like the fajitas, and then they got this deal. Off the top of my head, I can't think of it, but it's like 2 for like 1 margaritas one of the days, and so it freaking goes off. So it's really good, really delicious. I've cooked up some really good plans over some margaritas at Dos de Oros, like extremely bomb, great service, great people. And then around my neighborhood, because I live in like the Waldo-ish area, I really like going to Carmen's Cafe.
Okay, I've heard of that.
So
Carmen's
bomb,
is great.
dude. What is it? The Spadini, right?
Yeah, they
that
have
they
some
got.
good Spadini
Oh,
there.
so good. It's
Can
literally-
is it? I mean, if you're gonna talk Spadini in Kansas City, it's all about Garozos.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Garozzo's got some good Spadini, but I'm telling you, Carmen's is right up
Really?
there. I would say contested.
I would
It's
say
bomb,
I
dude.
would say they're on similar levels.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say
I'm a
Boris better than
Garozos guy.
Fair.
I mean, I'll try some.
I'll
That's
try it
Carmen's.
out. Try
That's
it
fair.
out. Yeah. I mess with the Carmen's, and then you know what I really love? This is more of like a guilty pleasure because it's so freaking unhealthy for you.
Betty
But
Ray's.
it's really famous. Not Betty Ray's. No. Not the sweets, but Kitty's Cafe.
Oh yeah,
The frickin-
everyone knows Kitty's
Yeah.
now.
The pork.
I've heard of it.
Spicy
No
pork
way.
tenderloin,
I've
bro.
heard of it.
I honestly, I figured everyone knows about Kitty's
Clear
now
your
'cause
schedule.
It was in the New York Times.
Yeah, clear your
Wow.
schedule,
Their,
dude.
their shit's awesome. It's
Don't do
cash
it-
only
yeah.
on 31st.
Don't have
31st
anything
and
to
what?
do.
Kitty's Cafe. What is
it's
it?
west of Troost. I don't remember what
It's just like
Okay.
a
the
little
street is.
burger shack type place, but they
no,
got this
pork
spicy
tenderloins.
pork
You
tenderloin.
gotta
yeah.
get-
Oh,
The spicy pork
Best pork
tenderloin.
tenderloin in the country.
Oh
100%.
no way!
Fully,
100%.
bro.
I love.
I like.
We usually
Love
order
a pork
2. Usually
tenderloin.
Yeah,
order 2.
honestly, I've ordered 2 plenty of times, or they do.
I don't want to hear you. Yeah, you're gonna order 2 of everything.
No,
We know.
no,
Casey,
no,
will
no.
you have 2?
I
pork-
did, dude. I
Get outta
I
here.
straight up had 2, bro. That's how good it is.
No, the order there is a spicy pork tenderloin and a grilled cheese.
Okay.
It is
Kitty's
magnificent.
Cafe.
But
Yeah,
like I say,
100%.
Okay.
Kitty's
schedule.
Cafe, 100%.
Don't have anything to do after it because you need to take a nap. Like, you need to take a nap. Bro. Yeah, exactly.
I like that. All right, best barbecue in Kansas City.
Ooh, that's tough, man. Honestly, I think I got to say Joe's still.
Okay.
Joe's, honestly, or Q39. It depends on my mood, though. It depends on my mood.
How very cliche of you.
Is that cliche?
Yeah, of course it is, but it's fine. It's not wrong.
Yeah.
Joe's is fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Q39's got some.
They have some good things. I don't like
They got some
everything
good
there.
things, right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Their burn-ins, fire.
Their wings.
Their wings, fire.
They even
Honestly, Char Bar is very good, too.
Char Bar's good.
Yeah.
There's a place in Lee Summit I go to called Smoke.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I've been there actually. Yeah,
It's good.
Smoke's pretty
Yeah.
bomb.
It's
yeah.
good.
Oh, okay. I can't leave these people out of this conversation. Slaps.
Oh yeah, I knew that was coming.
Holy fuck. Their shit is so good. Their food is bomb.
All right, and let's see, last one. Best place to grab a drink in Kansas City.
Johnny's on 7th, Kansas City, Kansas.
Johnny's on 7th in Kansas City, Kansas?
Yeah,
Yep,
hell yeah,
100%.
Bro. Hell yeah.
What?
So,
Hell yeah.
Why? No way.
so
That is not what I
hey, hear me
expected.
out. Hear me
Yeah.
out. You would love it, for one.
I used to live I used to work right down there, and I used to live not terribly far from there, so I'm not.
My brother's good friend owns it.
Oh, there we go.
Hey,
There we
hey,
go.
oh, hey,
Plug.
okay. Tell me. Yeah, whatever.
I'm not mad
honestly,
at it.
Plug
Plug it.
honestly,
Plug
hey,
it.
I bartend there sometimes. My brother.
Oh, Jesus
my
Christ.
brother.
It's all coming together, you guys.
Hey, I'm the fill-in bartender, but my brother and his wife bartend there sometimes. I mean, honestly, you'll love it. Like
If
I'm
you like dive bars, you will
Yeah.
freaking love this place. It's the most relaxed, like, setting, cool people.
all
like,
the games and shit are free there, so you
Yeah.
can
good crowd.
darts, pool, whatever if you
Yeah.
want to fuck with it. Like
I know as a how should I put this? I guess I don't know. I know at my age in my demographic I'm supposed to like a dive bar and I'm supposed to have always liked a dive bar. They're not necessarily have ever really been my thing. Like
Yeah.
I've gone to them and I can have fun anywhere. Give me some drinks, I'm going to have fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not necessarily a dive bar kind of guy, but I will have fun.
yeah, I think you'd have fun.
Right.
I will have free games. I am a game guy.
He's a gamer.
I am a gamer. And if you throw like, we're going to gamble on some of these games. I don't
Oh.
care. I don't, if it's a game I've never played, I
do
don't
they got
care.
there?
I'm gambling with you.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Okay, so you'll appreciate
You'll love
this.
this. Yeah.
So on the ceiling,
Johnny's on 7th in
Yeah.
KCK.
Okay, on the ceiling there, they have pictures of famous Johns, like John Belushi, John Kennedy, or John F. Kennedy. You know, there's a Johnny Basca who's the one who originally opened that Johnny's. But they have a fan that coincidentally is at the apex of 4 Johns, and they put a piece of tape on one of the blades, and they play fan roulette. You pick a John and you make your bet on the John. They get the fan up to full speed, and then they cut it off. And
Roulette.
And where it lands,
John Roulette.
John
Yeah,
Roulette.
John
Exactly.
Roulette.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
speaking like
People get into it.
No,
dude.
it's
People
so
get
funny though.
into
We
it.
literally, there was a shift I was bartending. We just had a constant game going the whole time.
Of course.
I mean, hey, you guys in for another? All right, I'll fire the fan up. And everyone's
yeah.
just putting their ones on the table.
You're speaking to my heart. Like, I love to go to the casinos. Like I said, I'm going to Vegas at the end of this month. Roulette is one of my games.
Yeah.
I want to play some John. John Belushi's my guy. I'm throwing the money on John Belushi every time. Let's fucking go. Let's go, Blues Brothers. I got a pack of cigarettes, half a tank of gas. We're going to Chicago. Hit it. Let's fucking
Go.
do it.
That's right.
Guys, this was fun.
Yeah,
Dude, no,
very much
absolutely.
so.
Appreciate it, man.
Very much so.
Anything you guys would like to say to people out there to recruit or to follow your guys' Instagram, KC Blues Rugby,
KC Blues Rugby.
Work in Maine. What is it's M Work in Maine? What is your
Yeah, Work in Maine.
Work in Maine on
WIRKN
Instagram?
MANE.
Yeah. Instagram, yo, what up? It's Casey for real.
what? No way. Hold
yeah.
on. Yo, what up? It's KC for real.
That's it,
That
man.
is your Instagram
That's
handle?
my Instagram name.
No, it's not.
Yes,
Yeah,
it is, brother.
it is.
Yo, what up?
It
It's
is.
KC for real.
Yeah.
It is,
That
bro.
might be the all-time greatest Instagram handle in the history of Instagram. Ah, it's amazing.
Check it
Hell
out.
yeah.
Check it out. I'm not too active on there. Maybe I have to pick it up.
You're
But
wasting
yeah,
it.
I know. Maybe I
You're
guess that's
wasting it,
Hey,
It's just gonna
sir.
be
You gotta up your presence.
This will be the springboard or something. But
Sir, how
know,
dare you?
I'll drop some stuff.
I will buy that name from you. Is it KC with a
talk
K and a
after.
C?
No. Like just the way my name is. CASCY.
Well, you fucked it up
yeah.
then. Never mind. It sucks now.
all good. It's it's a thing. But like follow the Kansas City Junior Blues as well. That's the team that we coach.
Yeah.
And then
Oh, that's the high school
the
team.
high school
The high
team.
school
Yeah,
team.
we're playing in the state championship game next Saturday.
We're at
Liberty
North
North
High
High School, 3:30 p.m.
Liberty,
kickoff.
Missouri up north.
Yep. Liberty North will be playing up there against SLU, St. Louis University High School.
There we go. Fuck them,
Exact-
st.
yeah.
Louis. We
Hey.
got you. Are we
It's
gonna
a-
win? This is the
Yes,
state.
we're gonna win. We
Saturday?
We lost to them last year.
Wait, this
Yeah.
Saturday or the following?
This
coming
upcoming
Saturday.
Saturday.
God damn it!
Yes.
What time?
3:30
3:30.
p.m.
You gonna
3:30
be there?
p.m. Liberty North. Yes, bro. Get out there. We need the support.
Yes,
Ooh,
Ryan.
I might bring my kids.
Yeah,
Do
bring
it.
them out, bro.
Perfect.
I work, but if I can get off in time, I can fly up here. I used to live in Liberty. I live not that far from there. I can pick my kids up, come up, and watch it.
Yeah.
That'd be
Let's
awesome.
go.
We got to hold it down for Kansas City, so it should be a good supportive crowd up there for the Blues and everybody. And yeah, man, it's gonna be a good game. And we head to nationals May 25th. We go out to Elkhart, Indiana, to compete in the national championship. So check us out. That'll be on the Rugby Network app. That'll be streamed. It's a free app. You can watch all sorts of. You can watch the MLR. You can watch other professional rugby games. Yeah, I think they got the Japan League.
I mean,
on there,
honestly-
too.
What's this? Oh, hold on. One more time. What is the app called?
The Rugby Network.
The
Yeah.
Rugby Network.
Yes.
It's a free app, and
Free
I can
app.
watch live
Yeah.
rugby games
You just
on there.
have to
Yes.
make an account. The account's free.
Yeah. Yeah, and so our games from Nationals will be streamed on there as well. If you're interested in playing for the Kansas City Blues, we kind of pitched it a little bit earlier. The Rugby 7 starts. The first practice is May 16th. It's at 6:30. It's at Indian Hills Middle School. We're also going to have an under-18 sevens academy side, and so this is literally if you want to try to make it to the Olympics and you think you're a good athlete and you think you're tough, you think you're a badass, come out and test yourself against some of these people. We'll be out there, and the under-18 side starts June 1st. So a little bit of a gap. The men's start a little earlier. But then June 1st, we're going to kick off the high school side. So, yeah, bro, we're trying to do big things and put people in pathways and stuff like that. And, obviously anybody and everybody is welcome. But, if you think that, you're a badass of any type of kind, come test yourself on the rugby field and, you'll either stick
We'll see.
with it. Yeah, exactly. We'll see. Exactly.
Well, like I said last time, Matt, there was a reason I played soccer.
Hey, the
I'm
thing is-
5'10". I'm gonna say I'm only one. I'm gonna lie to everybody and say I'm only 175.
That's a good weight, bro. That's a good rugby
That's a good-
demographic.
that's-
I actually weigh slightly more than that.
Even better.
I'm very fat right now. I'm really. I mean, I ran a 5K recently. I'm good, but it doesn't matter. There was a
The
reason I
difference
played
is-
soccer.
yeah.
It's because I was a 5'10", 175 kind of guy. I was like, and I look at dudes like him. How would you like? You try to tackle him, Casey.
Bro, every
go
game.
low.
can't.
You go
Every
low.
game.
No,
Yes,
you
I
said that
can.
last time. You said
Yes,
go
I
low
can.
last
Casey
time.
can tackle me.
Yeah.
And like
bro.
all I'm seeing is a giant tree trunk of a knee
Yep.
popping me in the jaw
Uh-huh.
and like
You gotta get your head,
dislocating
you gotta
my
get your head out of
face.
harm's way.
Yes.
Oh, then my shoulder's getting. You're too big. There's no way
Yes,
I
there
could tackle
is.
you. I
You
could
could.
maybe put my foot out there and trip you. I could like just kick you in the
Nah,
ankles.
it's a penalty.
I would take it. I'm not like no, I'm not.
Yeah,
I'd be like the quarterback trying to tackle somebody. Like
Yeah.
no, I can't.
No, you gotta wear it, dude. You just gotta look at you're like, this is gonna fucking suck and this is gonna hurt, but fuck it, it's worth it.
Can't let
worth
my
it for the
brothers
team.
down.
Exactly. I wouldn't be
I
able.
get it.
You couldn't get up off the ground and then look at your teammate's face and be like, "Oh, dude, sorry, he was too big." Fuck that, dude. Just take the motherfucker down.
I would hope. If I came to you,
Straight
Casey,
up.
if I came to you and I said he's just too big, I couldn't. I would hope you would be like, I get it, dude.
Hell no, dude. Hell no. Hell no. I would not, bro. I would
come on.
I would dig in, bro. That's like those moments right there. That's when like my eyes get big. I'm like, okay, here I gotta this dude needs his mind. He needs his mind callous. Like,
No, I
like
would
David
try.
Goggins shit.
I would try to
I mean,
take you down.
I'll tell you
I
straight
wouldn't
up.
like it, but I
No,
would
exactly.
do it.
But you gotta do it. You have to.
I do. I just throw myself like a fucking missile. All right, here we go.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, so that just reminds me of one quick thing. I know we're winding down.
We don't have to wind down. Keep going. You want some more alcohol? Let's go.
But anyways,
Pour some more Terramana there, Casey.
when we were 18 playing for the Blues, the men's team, there's a guy on the team named C. Vitale. Big, badass Samoan dude. Tough as nails. And, you know, at training, we had to tackle him. Live tackles. And
I don't want to hear you being afraid to tackle anybody.
it's still, trust me, anyone would have been afraid to tackle this guy. He's a bad
Especially when
badass
you're 18,
dude.
he's
Yeah.
like, what, 30-something years
Yeah,
old?
yeah,
Grown ass man.
Yeah.
You got
dude.
man strength.
Exactly,
on,
exactly.
yeah.
But when it came to game time and you look at the other side and you see people, you're like, that's nothing. I tackled Siva. We're good. Let's go.
Yeah.
Like, straight up. And so it's like also good to have bigger dudes like myself on your team because, bro, tackle
for
me in
sure.
training. You can tackle me in a game. Straight up.
Yeah, you're right. All right. When we get done, I'm going
You
to
can
tackle
dodge a
you in my
wrench, you
front
can dodge
yard.
a ball.
Yeah, that would be a great clip, bro. Nah, too good, man.
All right. So what I do like, again, back to we got to beat St. Louis as the Kansas City Blues.
Yes.
What I do think you're saying that St. Louis has their college that they're recruiting from, but you guys are teaching high school. So hopefully, maybe you'll be able to like mold some of them.
I mean, that's
into coming on to the Blues senior team. If they're on the junior team, hopefully some of them have aspirations to
Absolutely.
be on the Blues team.
Yeah.
And
If you
then
look-
you got a great recruiting tool here as a professional MLRer
Yeah.
that you must be like, yo, I was in the big leagues. I played in the MLR. Like, come on, I'm going to teach you my ways and I'll teach you how. Because, no, for real, all joking aside, you do have that experience that you could impose upon an 18-year-old that's looking to further his career. It's like, look, I've done it. Here's how you can do it.
Well, exactly.
and-
I just wish they listened like that.
Why, they don't?
And there's,
Sometimes.
there's
It depends.
reception, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
And I mean, it depends on what a kid's. I mean, obviously, you can open so many more doors with rugby. Like if you're a football player, you're a basketball player. There's a limited number of scholarships, right, at each school, and they're gonna give it to the absolute best guys that they can find. That they think are worth this money and everything. Rugby right now. Colleges are starting to invest in it, right? They see it, it's an Olympic sport now. There's a professional league, just, the little buzzwords that you were saying. And there is not enough rugby players. Like, we have college coaches, like, messaging us being like, I need guys. Like, if you have a player who wants to come to my college, I can get him a scholarship.
Oh, nice.
Yes, literally.
Like, straight up.
It's that. The demand is there, but the
How
supply
young?
is
How
not
young
there.
can we get? Like, is high school the youngest age of rugby in the United States for the most part?
No, there's youth. There's
Really?
youth as well, yeah. Heartland Youth
His
Rugby.
nephews play. My nephew's playing it too. Yeah. They got all ages, man. It starts at like flag.
I mean, to
they
be
do
honest-
flag rugby
That's a
and-
hard sell. I mean, I love it, but for me, again, I'm a soccer guy. My kid's playing soccer. He just finished his last game yesterday. They went undefeated. It was amazing. I absolutely that was my game. I'm telling him, this was the first year I got super involved with him, and I've got him just doing it's almost like I'm playing Madden.
Dude, that's
I got my remote. I'm like, all right, Archer, this way, up here, hold there, now come this way. And it's like I'm like micromanaging, like he's like I'm a controller, and it's fucking amazing. I love it. It's like it'd be hard to be like, all right, you could get a guaranteed scholarship if you go this way, but I don't know shit. Like I don't know shit about rugby.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you what, similar feeling though. It's like, it's so cool to be able to give the knowledge that we have to them. But also the biggest thing is like, we're connected to the Junior Blues, 100%.
Yeah.
His dad coached them forever. My older brother played there.
That's great.
We played
for you
there in
guys.
high school,
It's
all that.
so cool for you guys.
But like at the same time, my viewpoint on it is like, okay, where can I make a bigger impact on, or like, they always talk about, growing the game. I think, if we get kids liking rugby, playing rugby, succeeding at rugby in high school, hopefully and the whole thing is also, we've really pushed, showing kids there are avenues, for scholarships and everything like that. And we want to get kids playing at the next level and everything like that. So it's like, I mean, it's it's just kind of cool where it's gone. And I like I said, I think we put the biggest impact at this level. At the way rugby is now, that's where we put the biggest
Hold
impact.
on. I mean, they just had the collegiate national championship yesterday. It was Navy, the University of Navy versus Cal University. And spoiler alert, sorry if anyone hasn't seen it, Navy wins. And our team captain is going to Navy next year. He got recruited.
Oh, wow.
And so it's like one of those things.
Wow.
If it wasn't for rugby, he probably wouldn't ended up at the Naval Academy. I mean, who knows? He could have. He's literally first team All-State middle linebacker. And
in a championship caliber team,
on a championship,
he's gonna get to go play with those players and that coach.
Exactly.
Wow.
And if it wasn't for rugby, I mean, and it's not to throw anything bad on it, but where would he maybe could have ended up at some small league, college football team.
Sure.
In middle of nowhere, Kansas or some stuff, which is still
fuck you,
great experience, whatever, sure, but it's not the Naval Academy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not these insane, experiences and doors that can open up. So it's just like you're saying, it's just another avenue. And if anything, you want to be more competitive in your sport, all it's going to do is make you better at that. You know what I mean? Like
I kind of want to come play rugby with you guys.
Dude, come out
Let's
and give
go.
it a run.
It's working.
Wednesday night, we have social touch rugby. So if you want to come out and like, hey, what I said earlier, maybe you're like, dude, I'm not trying to, fucking, be out there and, banging it out and going as hard as possible.
I do want to bang it out.
Dude, I always do this to myself. I mess that up so much, bro. All the time I'll be giving like hype up speeches to the kids and like just like, getting all hyped up and then just say some absolutely, double fucking meaning bullshit and working just like, pause, what? Okay. My bad, boys. Sorry.
I do want to bang it out.
Yeah. So come out there on Tuesday and Thursdays, whatever. But if you just want to come out, play social, get a mix for it. Yeah, Wednesday nights at the old Southwest High School in Brookside. Yeah, we go out there, a bunch of they call it Old Boys Touch, and
give me some red shorts, and I'm coming out there.
You don't
touch
even
anyways.
Me.
It's touch.
Exactly. No, don't even touch. Just say I got you.
I got you.
Hey,
got you.
COVID's over. It's fine.
Well, I didn't get my vaccine. I should be scared.
Yeah.
All right, we can wrap it up, guys. That was
Cheers,
fun.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah,
it was
very
awesome.
Hell yeah.
Pleasure.
It's
Pleasure.
great.
All right,
Pleasure.
again, people at Liberty this weekend, come cheer. Well,
Liberty
you know what?
North,
Hold
Liberty
on.
North.
This episode won't be out for a couple weeks, so people won't
that's
hear
all right.
this. Fuck.
We'll send in the
But
results.
I'll hear it.
Yeah, we'll let you know what the results are.
I might come out there.
Yeah,
if
for
I can
sure.
get off in time and work.
Hell yeah.
I want to support some high school rugby and you guys and your guys' team.
Hell yeah.
Love that.
And check it out.
Appreciate that. And be on the lookout for the summer stuff. There's a couple tournaments. I think we'll have a tournament here in town.
I might do like a practice with you guys. Check it out.
You oughta.
You might
I've
as well,
never
dude.
played, but I mean, I can.
You just might like it.
I know I will.
Yeah, you will.
I know I will.
It's pretty hard to not.
Yeah, I mean, it's especially like being a soccer player, understanding that side of it.
Well, I was a soccer player 20 years ago.
Well,
I'm pretty
yeah.
old.
I mean,
You're still, it's still in the mind though.
to be fair though,
That's my broken ego. My ego is like gets me in too much trouble.
Yeah.
we have guys who
I
join
need
the
an
team.
ayahuasca trip.
We have guys that join the team just because they miss competition in their life, straight up.
Yeah, me.
And
yeah.
it's honestly, there's not many sports that get to the level of severity as like amateur.
I don't want my
men's
hip
rugby.
to go out though. I don't want to dislocate my hip
yeah,
and it to be shoved up in my asshole and I need emergency surgery.
Exactly. You got
my
3 grown
God.
men freaking yanking.
Oh, that hurts on
Yeah, brother.
so many levels.
Hell.
Casey, Matt, this was a lot of fun.
Cheers,
Yes,
man.
for
Appreciate
real.
you
Thank
having
you
us
so
on,
much.
bro.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Let's get the hell out of here. We'll keep drinking and just turn the microphones off.
Yeah, sounds good.
Bye.
Leave me the fuck alone. Neanderthal, hardest podcast in the world, you stupid ass bitch.